Had you known he was hurt or he wasn't breathing, would you have gotten off him?
Absolutely.
Closing arguments and jury instructions expected this morning in the trial of former Milwaukee police officer Michael Mattioli. He's accused of killing Joel Acevedo in April of 2020. Mattioli taking time to speak in his defense.
Michael Mattioli himself took the stand on Thursday afternoon. Criminal defense attorney Julius Kim of law firm Kim & Lavoie tells WTMJ it was a risky choice, but necessary in this case.
He has to explain a lot of his actions that didn't paint him out to look very good. If you remember, for first-degree reckless homicide, the state has to show that he showed utter disregard for human life. And there were a lot of things about this case that kind of make it seem that way, right? Because he didn't know whether he even was breathing or not. He was saying some really bad things after the police got there about whether he didn't care whether he was hurt or injured or alive.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Mattioli's case, just one of over 1,400 felony cases in a backlog at the Milwaukee County Circuit Court. Judge Mark Sanders tells TMJ4 News that hopes of clearing the backlog by 2024 are unrealistic because it's not something to be rushed.
We can force lawyers to try to resolve cases early. We can pressure lawyers to try to get things taken care of. But by doing that, we risk compromising the quality of the result and the quality of the representation.
Felony court judges are currently handling an average of 93 more cases at a time compared to March of 2020.
Milwaukee City Attorney Tierman Spencer responding to calls for felony charges and the removal of himself and one of his deputy city attorneys after the city's inspector general said Deputy City Attorney Adalu Okihu was working for his private law firm on city hours. TMJ4's Sean Gallagher spoke with Spencer.
An honor system that's been called into question after an anonymous tip kicked off IG Rhonda Kohlheim's investigation in June of 2022.
We're talking again about professionals, officers of the court. You would expect them to do certain things with honor and dignity, and that's the premise we move on.
But Spencer downplaying this as a simple mistake, saying the amount of money in question wouldn't be worth the hassle.
I can't see how he can intentionally do anything for $5,000 over 3 years, really. You know, I think if you're going to see something like that, you would see a higher number.
Inspector General says Ohiku collected about $5,700 over the course of 11 days between 2020 and 2023.
New developments in the Israeli war with Hamas. There's an agreement that will allow for a 4-hour humanitarian pause in Gaza. CBS News correspondent Kemi McCormick.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken in New Delhi said he welcomes Israeli humanitarian pauses in the fighting, but more must be done to help Palestinian civilians, like more aid deliveries.
We do have, I think, a concrete way forward that would allow more trucks to get in on a regular, sustained basis.
In Gaza, an Israeli strike outside Al-Shifa hospital where many Palestinians have sought shelter. Dozens were killed or wounded.
A woman from Cedarburg just returned from traveling to Israel. She spent several weeks using her medical skills in the war with Hamas. Heather Poland-Birkin, who is Jewish, has been an ER nurse for 22 years, currently works at Milwaukee VA. She tells WTMJ what it was like to visit Israel during this time.
In the beginning, I had to get used to hearing sirens because there would be red alerts every time a missile was launched from Gaza, which was pretty frequent. And there was an app everyone needed to have on their phone. So if there was a missile in your direction, your phone would alert. And if you were close to a bomb shelter, depending on where you were in the country, you had 15 to 90 seconds to get into a shelter.
She says it was a relief whenever she heard the explosion of Israel's Iron Dome intercepting a missile.
Coming up, taking her talents to Argentina.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
If you're like me, you always like to add a little something new to the wardrobe. But when money's tight, it makes it harder. And that's why you shop at St. Vincent de Paul for a terrific selection of women's clothing at thrift store prices. Brand names, too. With a selection that's always up to date and looking great. You're going to find something cute at the right price, and you're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, and 23rd in Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly. It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Get early access to Macy's Black Friday specials and find big savings on gifts they'll love right now while supplies last. Like the season's latest coats, 60 to 65% off. Select boots and shoes for her, just $19.99. And update your space with furniture, mattresses, and rugs, now 20 to 70% off. Plus, get your online order even faster with store pickup, now at Macy's. Savings off sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply.
Steinhafels is your sleep solution destination. Right now, you can get a Beautyrest Black mattress and pay just $44 per month when you use Steinhafels 72-month financing. Plus, you'll get $300 in Steinhafels cash. Shop in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
What did Coach Griffin say to get himself thrown out of last night's Bucks game? Brandon Snide has it in sports coming up at 6:15.
Governor Tony Evers plans to sign an amended bill that will allow clerks to begin processing absentee ballots a day early. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel says it's part of a bipartisan response to suggestions from clerks on improving the efficiency of running elections. Lawmakers in the state assembly agreeing to the change that would prevent voter confusion and conspiracies, those problems resulting from the large amounts of ballots that get processed late and sometimes change which candidate is in the lead.
Meanwhile, voting rights activists gathered at 60th and Capitol Drive Thursday, revealing a new early voting center at the former Midtown Bank. It replaces a well-known Midtown Center location. It closed last month. The executive director of Souls to the Polls, Wisconsin, Reverend Greg Lewis, says he hopes the lease will be signed soon.
We are grateful for this new site, but we need to make sure the city council and mayor get it over the finish line. This new site has the potential to be even better than the last one.
Now, thousands of voters cast their ballots at the previous site. Organizers hope the new location's proximity to a bus line, sufficient parking, and ADA compliance will make it just as successful.
A pop star taking Argentina by storm, and she expects to have one notable fan cheering her on.
Taylor Swift delighted the sold-out crowd of 70,000 on opening night in Buenos Aires in a new pink flamingo bedazzled bodysuit for the lover. A nod, perhaps, to her own. Travis Kelce was not among the fans last night. He was in Kansas City, attending a gala honoring his Chiefs teammate Patrick Mahomes. Kelce is expected to fly to Argentina today or tomorrow to catch his girlfriend in concert. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Vinny, just in case you're wondering, well, how is he going to play in a game on Football Sunday if he's doing a red-eye to Argentina?
Bye week?
It is a bye week.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
He was among the first human beings to ever see one of the most mind-blowing, spectacular sights that to this day only a handful of others have ever seen with their own eyes. That story next.
Hey, I know what it's like. Your knees hurt, your hip doesn't feel right, your back hurts as soon as you take that first step after waking up. Well, don't let it sideline you any longer. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Call QC Kinetics now. It's the future of pain relief. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. They restore and repair that damaged joint tissue, and they do it the natural way. It's the science of using properties from your own body to bring you that lasting relief that you're looking for with no drugs and no downtime, with advanced protocols that can get you moving again. And that's what you want to be doing. Well, get started now so you can live big in 2024. Talk about a great use of your FSA and HSA. QC Kinetics offers advanced regenerative treatments, and folks are getting amazing results. Call QC Kinetics. A free consultation awaits. Call 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Traffic is sponsored by Smart Spaces. Adapt to the modern workplace. SmartSpacesWI.com.
How can Smart Spaces transform your business? Creating technology, great culture, spaces that people really want to come to, attract talent, and keep that talent. SmartSpacesWI.com.
Checking in with Debbie here at 7:10 for the Friday Drive.
Oh, it looks good, Vince. It's a smooth ride right now. No major delays around the area. No incidents up on the board. Oh, my goodness. If we could keep this all day long, this would be awesome. So
So please, everybody, behave.
Good plan.
I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: early sunshine and afternoon cloud cover as temperatures top out in the mid-40s. Decreasing clouds tonight with lows dropping to around the freezing mark. Sunny and pleasant for Veterans Day. Highs in the upper 40s. We'll look for a mix of sunshine and cloud cover on Sunday. Mild with a high of 54. And the sunshine is back for Monday and Tuesday. Warmer with highs in the upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Chilly start, just 40 degrees in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Just about 12 minutes after 6 on Wisconsin's Morning News this Friday morning. Eric is out. Adam Roberts in for Eric today. Do you know the name Frank Borman? Now, you don't because I already told you. So you
Yeah,
can't,
that's
you
not
can't
fair.
play. Right.
So before you told me, that name did not come to mind.
So it will for a lot of folks. You ever hear people talk about like when they've gone west for the first time and seen mountains?
I
Or,
remember
like,
the first time I saw the Rockies.
Yeah, like people say like it changes you, right? Because you feel small or, whatever those emotions, like seeing something like that changes you.
It helped that I was 9, so I already was small.
Already small. We'll talk about something that changes you. Frank Borman, NASA astronaut, died this week at the age of 95. So if that helps you place him in an era, he was one of the 3 astronauts, along with William Anders and Jim Lovell, who, of course, grew up here in Milwaukee, on the Apollo 8 mission. This was the first to take human beings beyond Earth orbit and circle the moon in 1968. Prior to that, no one else had ever seen Earth from that distance, from that perspective so far away. The Apollo 8 crew famously read from Genesis that night, Christmas Eve, 1968, and Captain Frank Borman signed off from lunar orbit.
From the crew of Apollo 8, we close with good night, good luck, a Merry Christmas, and God bless all of you on the good earth.
In this seller's market, even homeowners are trying to sell their own home. But more times than not, it doesn't work out like they'd hoped. And while homes like theirs are selling, and selling fast for over asking prices, their homes aren't. So what's your next best strategy? Well, if you're looking to relieve yourself of the stress of selling your own home and still get top dollar while getting the full service benefits that an experienced realtor can give you, then look no further. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where 3.5 to 3.9% commission assures that you pay less for full service. Only 11% of those trying to sell their own homes actually succeed. And of those that do sell their own home, they sell on average for 26% less than agented properties. This often negates the savings they were hoping to get by doing it on their own. So why do it on your own when you have an experienced realtor that will give you full service at only 3.5 to 3.9% commission? Don't let your home sit while others are selling faster and at potentially better than asking prices. Call Benefit Realty for a highly experienced agent, and you'll pay less for full service.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Tough night for the Bucks as Giannis scored an NBA season-high 54 points, but committed 2 late turnovers, and a late 3 to tie was just off the mark for the Bucks as the Indiana Pacers beat Milwaukee by a final score of 126 to 124.
3, it missed too strong. The long rebound goes out of bounds back to the Pacers with 3.7 seconds to go. They got the shot they were after, but Middleton just too much on it. And Indiana is now in the driver's seat.
Dave Kane on the call there as Middleton missed that late 3 to tie the game, and the Bucks with the loss fall to 5-3 on their season. Giannis with 54 points, as I mentioned before. He also becomes the 5th player in NBA history to lose a game with 50 points on 75% shooting. The Bucks were also without their starting point guard Damian Lillard as he missed the game with a calf injury. It was an interesting night for the Bucks after losing Giannis to a couple of technical fouls. Milwaukee also lost their head coach Adrian Griffin in this one for much of the second half as he was ejected early in the third quarter after arguing with the officials about a no call on a foul that was not called on Giannis. What exactly did he say to the referee?
We just had a difference of opinions of what I thought that, it was really physical, and I thought Giannis was getting hit quite a bit, and, I voiced my opinion, and next time I'll do it in a little bit more delicate way. but it was a physical game, and give them credit. They jumped on us early, and they were able to pull out the win.
So Griffin had this one coming. He mentioned it after Giannis was ejected at, what was that, Wednesday? Hey, I got to stick up for my guy a little bit. He did.
Okay.
He was knocked about 4 or 5 times in his head, no call. Giannis didn't argue, but Adrian Griffin certainly did. Next up for
choice
the
words, apparently.
Yeah, choice words. Choose your words carefully. Next up for the Bucks is a road matchup Saturday night in Orlando. The Green Bay Packers are just days away from their Week 10 matchup in Pittsburgh after winning Sunday for the first time in 4 weeks. Quarterback Jordan Love knows the task this week will be taller against a much better defense. QB1 speaking this week on how he feels things have gone halfway through the season for he and his offense.
I think it's been a lot of highs and a lot of lows, some inconsistencies. And I think, we're continuing to build every week and just try and get this thing going where it's just consistent performance every week, where we're just continuing to lock in and focus on the plays, focus on our details, and just going out there and executing. But I think we're moving in the right direction for sure.
Packers Steelers from Pittsburgh all set for Sunday afternoon. Coverage will begin with our Green Bay game day beginning at 9 a.m. right here on WTMJ. And lastly, sticking with the NFL, as the Bears knock off the Panthers to kick off Week 10 with the Thursday night win by a final of 16-13. Was that a bear or a panther?
That was a Panther.
The Bears won, though. Can I get a bear?
That's a cat, dude. Come on.
It is now.
Chicago with the win, improving to 3-7 on their season, and even with the win, Vinny, having Green Bay at the front of their minds.
Let's just listen to what these Bears fans are chanting. That is right.
The Packers did not play. The Bears win. The Packers don't play for a couple of days, and even you can't say Panthers suck. You got to
rent free.
Completely rent free in their brain.
I kind of respect it.
I kind of respect it. Like that the rivalry is definitely still there for them.
I like it. 6:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Coming up, as war rages in the Middle East, a Jewish comic comes to town and shared with me how he balances doing comedy in these tragic times. That story is just ahead.
Craig Counsell's time as the Brewers manager has come to an end. Good luck to Craig and his new Wait, where did he go? Really? There? Of all places. Oh, what a season it's gonna be. Keep it tuned here for all the breaking Brewers news, including who will be the new manager. And yes, when we will play those pesky Northsiders. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. The time is now to plan your project. Replace those drafty old windows and doors with beautiful products from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Extraordinary deal going right now. Who's offering you 0% financing and no down payment for 36 months on anything? And that's the deal going at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. So attractive was the deal that our own Brandon Snide had him in the house this week.
Sure did.
In-home consultation.
Shout out to Randy. Phenomenal service.
Randy came by, did a good job.
Absolutely. Knocked it out of the park.
Did he have some nice suggestions for you?
He did.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't know there was that many suggestions for a patio door. So our patio door, real quick, doesn't lock.
Well, you should have
our whole handle is broke. So Randy's helping me take care of it. I'm excited to have them.
Locking doors pretty much standard with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Comes with it, so it's good.
Well, listen, Snide, you better get in by the end of the month. 0% and no down payment for 36 months when you order by November 30th. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Do you check your savings account and wonder if you're even saving at all? At Town Bank, we view banking differently and actually want to see your savings grow. With our amazing new CD rates, you can now earn even more, so you can sit back and relax. Stop banking the same way, expecting different results, and start earning more. Go to townbank.us/locknewrates or visit a Town Bank branch nearest you today. Bank differently with Town Bank. Member FDIC.
How about an update on the roads, Deb?
It's looking good, Vince. That's pretty much all I got. So, if you happen to be out on the roads and you can help us out, you can be our eyes. You can report incidents to the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's Season of Inspiration. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, pretty decent for this weekend. Early sunshine today and a high of just 45 degrees with clouds moving in this afternoon. Those clouds will start to clear tonight with low down to 32. Saturday looks pretty good. Sunny and pleasant, high 47. Sunday, high 54 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds. And take a look at the work week next week. Close to 60 degrees on Monday, high 58, sunny and mild. Sunny and mild once again on Tuesday with a high of 57. Right now we're at 40 in Milwaukee. Let's get it on. Friday morning here when comedy meets tragedy, or maybe the other way around. Really cool show coming to Milwaukee Improv next week. That's the comedy club that's out at the Corners in Brookfield. Modi is in town.
Anybody here grew up with parents with heavy accents? The three of us. There you go. The rest of you all came over on the Mayflower, right?
That's Modi Rosenfeld, Jewish comic, does shows all over the world. And needless to say, pretty difficult time with war raging in the Middle East. A fascinating conversation with Modi, who was actually in Israel doing shows when the October 7th attacks occurred.
I was in Israel when the war began. We had 6 unbelievable sold-out shows in Israel, ending on Thursday. That Saturday, the war began, and that Saturday, we were the last flight out to Paris. I had 4 shows scheduled in Paris, and so on Monday, when the war was fresh in people's faces, and the people are still streaming the war, I literally saw them in the audience streaming the war right before the lights went down and I went on.
So that's like, if you're a comic, really tough way to start your comedy set, right?
I don't think it gets any more difficult than that.
You know the importance of what the room, like that's why you have warm-ups, right? You have warm-up acts to get the room kind of loose and feeling good.
Hey, by the way.
Right? So what do you do? I asked him directly, like, how do you address this? Do you do material on what's happening? And, like, where do you know where that line is?
Good. Again, great question. I try to actually avoid the actual topic of what's happening and doing jokes on that because, again, I want to give them an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and a half of not being in it. Do you know what I'm saying? I want them to for an hour and a half, be in where I'm taking them for the journey. I do mention it a little bit up front. Obviously, you can't. It's like the pink elephant in the room, and you mention it, and I just go right into my comedy set. At the end, I bring it up again. I have 1 or 2 jokes that are fitting for the war. Obviously, it's about me, not about what's happening over there. Me in regards to the war. And again, it's an hour and a half of relief that people have, which is very important to have.
Are there folks, Modi, who've pushed back and just said, this is not the time to be laughing at all? What are you doing up here on stage?
I would say 99.9% of my audience is so happy and thankful that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And when we post clips of me doing shows, very rarely will you see somebody saying you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, I believe so strongly in the power of laughter and its ability to help us escape. And so what he said about that really resonates with me. We're so easily offended.
I was just going to say, like, you know as well as I do, Vince, especially now when it comes to comedy, anytime that there's something in the public conscience, in the news cycle that happens, it becomes all right, how are they going to tiptoe around this one?
Yeah. And so, he leans in to an extent. Modi Rosenfeld, his show Tuesday night at Milwaukee Improv in Brookfield, LOL. And also, if you're wondering, so I've identified him as a Jewish comic. He was born in Israel. If you're wondering whether it's Jews only. So in terms of your material, just in general, how Jewish do you have to be to get all of this stuff? Or is there something in there for everybody?
There really is. There really, really is. My favorite thing now, I see all the people or the Jewish audience that I've built are now bringing their friends who aren't Jewish, which is so amazing. And my show is made where it's observational comedy. You're basically seeing the world through Jewish eyes. So people who aren't Jewish are getting to experience that as well.
So, right, Modi said, look, everybody's going to get it. So if you heard something that you liked in there and you want to have a good laugh about all sorts of things, this is your guy.
Absolutely. I love going out to the Improv, even though it is not the actual Milwaukee Improv, which I think Greg was saying they joke about every time they go out there.
This is a lead joke for every comic.
Always talk about warming them up. That's Rob.
What's with you, Milwaukee? I'm in Brookfield. All right. Improv.com/Milwaukee for tickets to Modi's show. It's Tuesday night at the Corners in Brookfield. I wish him a warm reception here in Milwaukee. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was down about 220 points in trading on Thursday. It closed at 33,892. The NASDAQ down almost 130 points to 13,521. S&P 500 closing at 4347. That was down about 35 points. The Annex Wealth Management Year-End Tax Planning Guide is here. Download yours at annexwealth.com.
This is WTMJ's Jeff Wagner here to tell you about Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattresses. Built Right's Black November mattress deal and Veterans Day sale is on now. Shop the most unique selection of mattresses with over 60 models and 500 mattresses in stock. Built Right always saves you money. Don't make a mistake by ordering online or from an employee-free store. Built Right makes it easy, and with their legitimate sale prices, you will get an exceptional value and a great night's sleep. Built Right does the research for you. Their team will take the time to help fit you. Built Right's affordable, better quality brands include Restonic, Therapeutic, Heirloom, Gold Bond, and Schiffman. Built Right offers free delivery on mattress-only purchases of $7.99 or more, and they'll remove your old mattress as well. Select model sets include a free mattress protector or a heavy-duty bed frame. Shop Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday they're closed to be with family. When you get there, tell them WTMJ's Jeff Wagner sent you to locally and family-owned Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Hey, WTMJ's John Rourke here. Guthrie & Fry provides the best water service at the most competitive prices. Water softeners, iron filters, well pump and surface repair, salt delivery, they do it all. They take care of their customers like their family. They protect the water in my house. They say better water makes a big difference, and it sure does. Let them take care of you the way they take care of me. It's Guthrie & Fry since 1974. GuthrieFryWater.com.
Better water makes a big difference. Guthrie & Fry.
We asked people why they sold their homes to Grandview Homes instead of using a real estate agent.
We looked at a few businesses that purchase homes, and Grandview seemed to be the one that had it together. Not only did we receive a fair offer, but we were able to take as much time as we needed and could leave the house a mess.
Whether you have a hard-to-sell home, want a stress-free sale, or simply need to sell your home fast, Grandview Homes is the name you know and the name you can trust. Visit GrandviewHomes.com to discover the easiest and fastest way to sell a home.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchey with Rich Lawns. You're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem is powered by Weiniger Compressor, American patriotism made in Wisconsin. This is the Milwaukee Children's Choir.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It's 6:30. I'm Adam Roberts, and this is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Friday, November 10th. Your top story, closing arguments today in the Michael Mattioli trial.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. It's a clear ride across most of the area. We have a road opening. Bender Road between Port Washington Road and Jean Nicolay Road has reopened after some extensive construction in that area. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Talk of a deal to stop the violence in the Israel-Hamas war with daily 4-hour humanitarian pauses. That as Israeli strikes hit Hamas targets near several hospitals in Gaza City, with growing pressure on Israel to end the bombardments or at least do more to save civilian lives.
I've set goals. I didn't set a timetable because, it can take more time. I wish it'll take little time. But we're proceeding step by step, reducing our casualties in the process, trying to reduce and minimize civilian casualties and maximize the casualties of the Hamas terrorists.
Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu in Tel Aviv. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin making political waves, announcing he won't seek re-election next year. Analysts say a Republican could take the seat, while Manchin could become a third-party presidential candidate, taking votes away from President Biden's bid. The FBI investigating several envelopes containing powdery substances, including fentanyl, mailed to election offices in 6 states, including Georgia. I'm Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 6:31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center.
I thought he was perfectly fine. I didn't know that he was hurt. I truly did not know that.
And had you known he was hurt or he wasn't breathing, would you have gotten off him?
Absolutely.
Michael Mattioli taking time to speak in his defense Thursday, with closing arguments and jury selections are expected this morning in his trial. Accused of killing Joel Acevedo in April of 2020.
Michael Mattioli himself took the stand on Thursday afternoon. Criminal defense attorney Julius Kim of law firm Kim & Lavoie tells WTMJ it was a risky choice, but necessary in this case.
He has to explain a lot of his actions that didn't paint him out to look very good. If you remember, for first-degree reckless homicide, the state has to show that he showed utter disregard for human life. And there were a lot of things about this case that kind of make it seem that way, right? Because he didn't know whether he even was breathing or not. He was saying some really bad things after the police got there about whether he didn't care whether he was hurt or injured or alive.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
And Mattioli's case, just one of over 1,400 in a backlog at the Milwaukee County Circuit Court. Mark Sanders, judge, tells TMJ4 News that hopes of clearing that up by 2024 are unrealistic because it's not something to be rushed.
We can force lawyers to try to resolve cases early. We can pressure lawyers to try to get things taken care of. But by doing that, we risk compromising the quality of the result and the quality of the representation.
Felony court judges are currently handling an average of 93 more cases at a time compared to March of 2020. The possibility of a casino in Kenosha getting mixed reviews at a public hearing.
Developers from Hard Rock Cafe project 850 building jobs if the plan for a casino along I-94 comes through. One union member was ecstatic at the idea.
It is going to create a lot of great jobs for building trades members as well as the whole area surrounding this.
But another attendee voiced concern on the whole effects of a casino in Kenosha.
I see that there's short-term gain, and I love that. Get jobs for the trades. That's wonderful. But you really need to think long-term.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
The entire Kenosha County Board expected to vote on the casino proposal next Tuesday. And voting rights activists gathering at 60th and Capitol in Milwaukee to reveal a new early voting center at the former Midtown Bank, replacing the well-known Midtown Center location that closed last month. Executive Director of Souls to the Polls, Wisconsin, Reverend Greg Lewis, hopes the lease will be signed soon.
We are grateful for this new site, but we need to make sure the City Council and Mayor get it over the finish line. This new site has the potential to be even better than the last one.
Organizers hope the new location's proximity to a bus line, sufficient parking, and ADA compliance will make it just as successful. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
Traffic is sponsored by the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services, WI.com.
Upgrade to a beautiful Kohler Luxstone shower in as little as a day or two with the shower remodel experts at Kohler Services. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com today.
Coming up, the good kind of 40-year-old windows. That store next.
So it's time you bought some new end tables, or maybe a new coffee table. There's nothing like having beautiful new wood furniture in your home. But as a mom, I know wood furniture tends to attract little boys and girls like a magnet. And soon your new end table ends up being a Hot Wheels racetrack. And before you know it, that new wood is going to start to take a beating. Well, let me tell you what I've found to be an inexpensive solution to keeping wood furniture tops intact. And it's simple. Custom-cut glass tabletops. They do a great job protecting the wood, and I happen to believe that they make wood furniture look even classier. So give me a call. I'll help you protect that wood and make it look even nicer with a custom-cut glass tabletop. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
The following takes place in the home of a Capital Heating, Cooling, and Electric customer.
This furnace is in bad shape, Jason.
It's okay. That's what a beyondification is for. Merle, hand me that wrench. Yep, we're going to recalibrate it back to like-new condition.
I'm working on the deep clean right now.
Okay, Merle, jump on a comprehensive safety check.
How's that beyondification coming, guys?
Going well, Laura. We'll have Miss Taylor's furnace purring away at maximum efficiency in no time.
Saving her money on energy bills every month.
And extending the life of her furnace.
That'll save her even more money.
Way beyond the standard tune-up.
And it's the best thing you can do to prepare your home.
Because winter is coming.
Okay, guys, we have another beyondification right down the street when you're done.
Roger that. Merle, hand me the drill.
Call Capital Heating, Cooling, and Electric today to schedule your furnace beyondification or schedule online at callcapitalcares.com.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 6:36.
Coach Griffin got tossed last night. Another buck thrown out of the game. What did he say to the ref? Brandon Snide has that in sports at 6:45.
So, Vince, we talk a lot about, when you talk about Pella windows, you want to replace your windows frequently.
Yes.
You always want new windows.
Yes, you do.
Seems like these windows I'm about to talk about we're replacing, e.g. updating every couple of months or so. 40 years ago today, Bill Gates, well known, unveiled Microsoft's Windows operating system for PCs. It didn't actually come out until 1985, but it was first unveiled, grand reveal to the public today in 1983. Now, of course, one of the world's most popular pieces of software. CBS News Tech contributor Ian Scher explains how Windows didn't just turn Microsoft into a behemoth, it was central to building the internet we know today.
Even though Apple had its Lisa computer and its Macintosh that came out around the same time, the truth of the matter was that Windows was far more popular, and it, along with Internet Explorer and Microsoft Word and PowerPoint and Excel and Outlook, were mainstays of a lot of people's lives for decades and even still today.
Yeah, I can attest, going back as far back as when I was a little kid, and I think you can say the same thing, learning just those basic functions. And Windows has always been a part of my life. We use it today here at the office at GKB.
Well, you look at the difference between Apple and Microsoft at that time. It's sort of like Beta versus VHS back in the day. You know, Beta was the Sony product. It was proprietary to Sony. It was a superior product. It was fantastic. If you had one of those old Betamax that loaded on the top or whatever, it was a great product, but it was only Sony. And then VHS was a format for everybody else. And that's sort of like what Windows was. And everybody else making computers was running that.
And sometimes that's the best marketing you can do is, yeah, you've got the cool thing over there, but I'm the everyman's product. And there are a lot more everymen and women than there are top 1%ers, I guess.
Coming up, we've got a Veterans Day salute on the road. That story next.
You can find affordable holiday decor at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Find cute Christmas decorations, ornaments, trees, and home decor, all at thrift store prices. Gift cards are also available for that shopper on your Christmas list. You'll never overspend on holiday items from St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Vince Vitrano here for Walker Media Agency. I've known Matt Walker and his family for years. Super excited. I've talked with Matt over the last several weeks about what they are doing to help local businesses grow. Your relationship with Matt starts with a digital overhaul. You want to make sure your website is more than just a placeholder on the Info Super Highway, that it's working as hard as you do for your business. Hoffman Construction Company, you hear them here on WTMJ. They tell us working with Walker Media Agency has elevated their ability to attract talent. In fact, here's a quote from the president of the company. From a dynamic website overhaul to captivating TV and radio ads, innovative recruitment strategies, and striking billboards, their work has been a revelation. You're looking for your company's revelation moment? Start a relationship now with Matt Walker and Walker Media Agency. You can find him at walkerwtmj.com or text the word Walker to 855-616-1620.
Hi,
This is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. Why do so many people live years with back tax problems? You didn't file one year because you were sick or thought you couldn't pay. Then next year you didn't file again. Soon you think you can't file. You do things that don't make sense or may be illegal. Don't bury your head in the sand and hope the problem will go away. It will only get worse unless you make the right choice and step up to get them off your back. Do you want your paycheck garnished, a lien on your house, your passport revoked, or your bank account wiped out? We help reduce or eliminate penalties, negotiate payment plans, and file back tax returns. My latest book has advice on what to do to avoid trouble with the IRS. Make the right choice. Go to rightchoicetax.us to book a call or in-person meeting right now. We know you want to take the first step in getting the IRS off your back so you can live again. That's rightchoicetax.us.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Checking in with Debbie here, 19 minutes before 7.
Yeah, so far looking pretty good across the entire area. Not seeing any delays anywhere or incidents for that matter. So everything is in the clear as we speak. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, some early sunshine followed up by afternoon cloud cover. Temperatures topping out today in the mid-40s. Decreasing clouds overnight as lows drop to the freezing mark. It's sunny and pleasant for Veterans Day. Highs in the upper 40s. We'll look for a mix of sunshine and cloud cover on our Sunday. Mild with a high of 54. And the sunshine is back for Monday and Tuesday, a bit warmer with highs in the upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Right now, Milwaukee at 40 degrees. At 6:42 on this Friday, Veterans Day tomorrow. Salute to you, Brandon Snide.
Thank you, sir.
Our own Iraq and Afghanistan combat veteran Brandon Snide in the house today. According to the VA, about 18 million veterans in the U.S., more than 300,000 right here in Wisconsin. So chances are you know somebody, right? There is a special and not always considered way to honor our heroes. Here's Debbie Lazago with that.
From parades to special commemoration ceremonies to military aircraft flyovers and even free meals at area restaurants. Those are all great ways to honor those who have put their lives on the line to protect us. But there's another way. How about license plates? That's right. And I decided to talk to the Title and Registration Processing Section Chief for the DMV, Dustin Sweeney, to find out a little bit more about this special way to salute our heroes.
So with the military group and National Guard plates, customers are required to mail an application to DMV. It's an MV 2653 form, and one piece of documentation that always needs to accompany that form is the DD 214.
It's as simple as that. You can check out the forms online and provide a copy of that DD 214, mail it all in, and 2 weeks, you've got a styling license plate showing the pride you have of being a veteran. Now, there's an extra charge for these plates, but that charge goes to a great cause.
There is a $15 issuance fee with any military group plate. That issuance fee does get sent over to the Department of Veteran Affairs. And then for members of the general public to just support veterans and they're not former or active military, we do have a Wisconsin Salutes of Veterans license plate that's available to the general public, and the $15 issuance fee for those plates also goes to the Department of Veterans Affairs.
You can even get personalized veterans plates.
Yes, you can. You can get a personalized vet plate. It has an additional $15 fee for the personalization, and that $15 does go to the DMV General Transportation Fund.
By the way, the DOT has a bonus program that helps our veterans out. It's called Move It,
which stands for Making Opportunities for Veteran Employment and Transportation. It's a program to help veterans get their foot in the door in the transportation industry and apply their skills that they learned while they're in the military to some of our transportation jobs that we have here in Wisconsin.
I mention it here because you can find out more about what they have to offer right on the DMV's site. As we all get together to celebrate these heroes, we want to let them know how special they are. I know, I married one, Mr. Brian Marks, United States Air Force. We're proud of you all, and we thank you. So the next time you come across someone who's driving around with one of these plates, give them a wave and a smile and thank them for protecting us. Debbie Lazaga, WTMJ News.
And a salute to all of our veterans from all of us here at WTMJ. Brandon's got sports next.
At Semper we wholeheartedly believe that our reputation is everything. And around the office and work sites, I like to say that our reputation is like the little campfire we all huddle around for life. And every time we produce a project, we all have to take a little piece of that fire, and it's our responsibility to keep it going. Every time we keep a promise, it fuels the fire. Every time we deliver on an expectation, it fuels the fire. We started out as a mom and pop roofing shop, and the reputation we've built and our commitment to it has made us into the company we are today. I've found that people really value a company that truly cares about their reputation, and I know that it attracts the kind of like-minded individuals that we're proud to have on our team. At Semper we work hard not to tarnish our reputation, and that's what will make your decision to work with us one you won't regret. We're Semper Roofing and Exteriors, and you can count on Semper to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Despite a season-high 54 points from the Greek Freak, the Bucks fall to the Pacers by a final score of 126-124 on Thursday night. The loss breaks the Bucks' 3-game winning streak as they fall to 5-3 on their season. Milwaukee will look to rebound starting Saturday night in Orlando. It's been a tough week for us Brewers fans, but on Thursday night, the team did get some good news. William Contreras was named as the Silver Slugger Award recipient at catcher for the National League. Wild Bill's 38 doubles and 56 extra base hits led all catchers across the entire league. And lastly, the number 9 team in the country will pay a visit to the Kohl Center tonight as the Badgers men's basketball team is all set to host Tennessee tonight. Tip-off between the Badgers and Volunteers is scheduled for 8 p.m.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's morning news. Here's Brendan Snide.
The direction of our 2024 Milwaukee Brewers took a drastic turn this week after longtime skipper Craig Counsell decided to dart for Chicago. I think I'm stating the obvious here, but the future of Brewers baseball is most certainly in question and amongst most fans in serious doubt. Look, if I am Matt Arnold, and by all accounts that's probably a good thing I am not, I would seriously consider looking into selling off this current roster to build for 2026 and beyond. And according to The Athletic's Ken Rosenthal, it's something the brass in Milwaukee is actually considering. Corbin Burns, Willie Adames, Brandon Woodruff, and Devin Williams, all significant contributors for the past few years, now should probably just wave their goodbyes just like their former skipper did, and Milwaukee should seriously consider sending them off in order to help build Milwaukee back up in the way that is only sustainable for a small market ball club. It's always challenging to be a team that is selling off on talent, but this is the unfortunate way Major League Baseball has constructed their league and how it has pinned small markets to operate in order to sustain and create success. After winning 92 games just a season ago, including that division championship, all this talk may seem a bit crazy, but fair or not, it's reality for us Brewers fans. Look, it's not all doom and gloom. The young talent Arnold can employ is something to certainly look forward to, but with limited options in free agency, a limited budget, aging stars, and bad contracts, the reality of this Brewers team is not for now, but more to build for the future.
New season, new coach.
There's art to looking good out there on the floor.
Same old Giannis.
Euro stepping through everybody and then slashes his way all the way in for an easy layup. Easy for Giannis, not for the mere mortal.
Catch every slam, every jam.
So that is stealing candy from the baby as he flushes it through with a two-hand jam.
And every swish.
And he cans another.
All season long on your home of the Milwaukee Bucks. 620 WTMJ.
Uh-oh, I got a light on my dashboard. Hi all, Debbie Lazaga here for Hall Mazda, and I started up my car this morning and bloop, saw a little light saying service due soon. I don't know about you, but when I see a light that's not what I normally see on my dashboard, I get a little freaked out. Then I remembered, I don't have to worry. I've got the guys at Hall Mazda in my corner. You see, Mazda has been family owned and operated since 1926, and they're on their 4th generation. They've been around so long because they look after their customers. By the way, it's not a OMG, get service done right now light. It's actually a light that just says, based on your mileage, you might want to bring it around so the guys can take a look at it. Whew. Seriously, they have exceptional service before, during, and after the sale, so I'm not worried one little tiny bit, because Hall Mazda always exceeds expectations. Are you curious? Well, visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com to find out more.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
If Hasselus Mattress doesn't have employees, how do customers buy mattresses?
Easy. Once you've tested every Sealy Posturepedic, Beauty Rest, or Serta Perfect Sleeper at your leisure, just order by phone, online, or at our in-store kiosk.
Also, why do people say they slept like a baby when babies are known for not sleeping well?
Well, I don't know about babies, but you will sleep better having paid way less. Our 43 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. And for shopping local, through Monday, you'll also get an additional $200 credit towards your new Serta Perfect Sleeper, Beauty Rest, or Sealy Posturepedic mattress, and free next day delivery.
Fantastic. I have more.
Shoot.
If something is described as indescribable, hasn't it been described?
If revenge is a dish best served cold, and revenge is also sweet, is revenge ice cream?
You just blew my mind.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
This week at Sendik's, Copper River salmon fillets are just $7.99 per pound. It's Seafood Week at Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Traffic is sponsored by Sendik's Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Glad you're having that light checked out too, Deb.
Yeah.
That's exactly my reaction every time something's on in my car.
No, this is not. No, it's a new car. No.
Just ignore it. Maybe it'll go away.
No. Turn it off. Turn it back on again. Yeah. Well, no, actually, by the way, all the things on the roads looking good. We only have one issue. It's a disabled vehicle on the Brown Deer Road off-ramp to go eastbound from northbound 43. So that's just something to keep in mind. Otherwise, we just got that building volume like we normally do, a little bit right past Keefe, right as you're getting into the Capitol Drive construction zone. Everything else is looking aces. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast is sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Not bad for mid-November. High of 45 degrees today with early sunshine giving way to clouds this afternoon. Decreasing clouds tonight and a low down to 32. Then for your weekend, 47 on Saturday under sunny skies. Mix of sun and clouds Sunday, high of 54. And we just keep getting warmer. Sunny and mild on Monday, high 58. 57 the high on Tuesday with sunny skies. Right now 40 in Milwaukee. And that hurts, Greg. Greg Pancake Hill produces the program. He's also our DJ. I don't know why I've brought in ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel here for, I don't know, absolution here or what. I don't know why I feel compelled to tell you this.
Okay.
But lately I am coming to grips with slowing down a little bit. You and I still play the sports.
Yeah. Sports.
Sports.
Yeah.
I'm very active. I know you are. We both golf. We both like to carry our bag.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. You get a little exercise while you play.
Yep. Still doing that. Still playing tennis. Still playing pickleball. But when I work out, it's just to be not fat.
Okay.
So I know, like, I'm not a runner. I do run just to be not fat.
Okay.
Well, good job.
Yeah. So
you're doing great on that so far.
Yeah. Congratulations on reaching your goals. So, like, when you run, how far do you run?
It's like a 3.5 to 4.
Oh, okay.
Light and easy, though. Like, again, my goal here is to just, get the heart rate going and burn some calories and all that.
Okay.
But lately, like, as I am slowing down, nearing 50, various injuries that I've spoken extensively about on the program, like, running is not as easy anymore. So I've been mostly elliptical. But every now and then, I'd still like to go for a run on a nice day. Right?
Sure.
I can't run anymore, man.
Really?
Like, it just, stuff's clicking.
Just like the hammy or what?
Just the hamstring is still, like, it's good enough to do all the sports I want to do. I can go in bursts, but, like, distance running, it's just, like, not comfortable. So the other day, again, I don't know why I'm telling you this, but I seek some sort of absolution from you.
Okay.
The other day, I'm running, and I'm like, might just slow that down to a walk. And then I'm like, it's too late to go to the gym, so I think I'll just have a walk.
Just so like,
have a nice walk.
But there's nothing wrong with having a little walk, is there?
Am I a walker now? Is that what I am?
Is what you're afraid of? Because I will say this, like, I know my parents really like to go hiking.
Okay.
So they'll go different places. And my mom had a pretty bad hamstring injury a couple of years ago where she would she would walk around town all the time. That's what she would kind of do for the exercise or whatever. But is that like, as you're getting older, you're like, you're scared that this is like an old person thing?
Yes.
This is an old person activity that you are now participating in?
If I am an athlete, when athletes work out and train, they run, right? But
I
had my knee taken out at Summerfest, and I was hobbling around here for about a good month.
Wait, I'm going to need to explore what was just stated first before we get back. What do you mean you had your knee taken out at Summerfest?
So, about the first weekend of Summerfest.
There's so many guesses you could have, by the way. Like, there's at Summerfest, like, you could have been in the middle of a mosh pit. You could have been taken out by a kid on just, like, the regular walkway.
Right. So the guy in that big wheel that goes back and forth.
So it actually was none of the above. It was D, the big blow-up balls in the U.S. Marine run pit, where you, like, run at each other in those big blow-up balls. Friend went on a little too low, and within 2 seconds of me getting into that pit, boom, and right out, and I fell down. And you remember, I was hobbling around here for a good week. I had that wrap on my knee. They had said, you want to do an MRI? And I thought, well, I'm 30 years old, and I don't exactly have a big savings account, so we might put that off. And I'm wondering if I maybe shouldn't have done that.
Still time, my friend.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was going to suggest, if you're worried about your knee, I bike to work every day. It's good cardio, and it's a lot easier on the knees than walking and running. So, do you own a bike?
I'm picturing you biking to work.
Get the whole gear.
Just getting on 40, getting on 43 with a light on your head.
I'm that guy, the flashing light, too, right?
I'm a cyclist, not a biker.
Yes. You asked if I had a bike. I did. I never rode it, to the point that when I was teaching my little kids when they were little how to ride a bike, and they first kind of got up on two wheels or were tooling around the neighborhood, and one of my kids said, "Gee, Dad, I sure wish you knew how to ride a bike. Then we could all ride together."
Like, kids are brutal, man.
I don't not know how.
Kids are just brutally honest.
Right. Maybe I should ask one of them. Dad, what are you walking? What are you, old?
Walking here.
All right, thank you, Gabe. I feel a little bit
I feel like I didn't help at all, but hey, if walking's what you got to do, man, then walking's what you got to do. That's what athletes, what they do? You know what athletes do? They adjust when they're dealing with different
Survive
injuries.
in advance.
Exactly.
Business headlines are sponsored by Old National Bank. Get old, they're next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Teddy Nichol.
The longtime owners of Groppy's Food Market in Milwaukee's Bayview neighborhood are selling the store, but it will remain open. The new owners are a pair of brothers that also own a store at the Milwaukee Public Market. The Milwaukee fine dining restaurant Ardent is opening a new tasting room on the east side in the space that formerly housed Red Light Ramen. The restaurant also has a new lounge next door serving cocktails and an a la carte menu. WEC Energy Group Executive Chairman Gail Klappa will remain with the company but transition to the role of board chair in May 2024. Klappa has held his current position since January 2019 when he stepped down as CEO of the WE Energy's parent company. I'm Teddy Nichol with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Old National Bank.
I just got your home equity loan, and this feeling of joy and exhilaration overcame me.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon we call getting old.
Wow, so I'm not the only one?
No, small business owners feel it with expansion loans. Families feel it when they're setting up trusts and 529s. Nonprofits who need financing to help the community. And anyone who needs investment advice. They all feel it.
So it's not just me?
No, you're in a pretty big club.
Like a club I can join?
I really don't.
Is there at least a secret handshake?
Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National. Get old. Member FDIC.
You work hard and play by the rules, but that's not what your monopoly utility wants to do. Utilities are spending millions lobbying lawmakers for a special deal that will increase rates even more, putting corporate profits over consumers. Hard-working Wisconsin taxpayers deserve better. Call your state legislator today. Tell them to vote no on Assembly Bill 470 and Senate Bill 481, paid for by the Electricity Transmission Competition Coalition.
See all those plans on your calendar?
Yeah.
Cancel them.
Why?
Because once you relax on the Miles sectional sofa from Penny Mustard, you'll never want to leave your house ever again. You and the sofa become one.
Sounds kind of nice.
Sounds kind of weird. This isn't just another piece of fancy furniture. This is your emotional support sofa.
The Miles sectional sofa, American made with ultra high density foam and hundreds of fabric options,
including kid and pet friendly fabrics.
Starting at $90.28 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here. Are you thinking about remodeling your bath or shower? Well, now's the perfect time to save on design and remodeling with Kohler Services, a family-owned business for 150 years. Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer, offering fast, professional installation and care for life. For 2 weeks only, Kohler Services is offering $1,500 off your shower or bath remodel from now until November 15th. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with installation always included. Again, that's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Keeping you informed, keeping you safe, keeping you engaged and entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Now up on 701, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, November 10th, our top story, a missing veteran in West Bend.
I'm Adam Roberts, closing arguments in the Michael Mattioli trial.
I'm Brandon Snide. Another ejection for the Bucks leads to a different outcome.
I'm Debbie Laziga, looking pretty good across the area. Only heavy spots going to be northbound 43 between North Avenue and Keefe. Just that building volume there. Nothing else as a problem this morning. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Early sunshine today. Clouds moving into the afternoon and a high of just 45 degrees. Decreasing clouds tonight, low down to 32. Right now it's 40 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a developing story we're on top of this morning. A veteran from West Bend has gone missing. A little bit more on his disappearance from our partners at TMJ4 News.
Right now, West Bend police are asking for help finding an at-risk missing veteran. Authorities say they are concerned for 30-year-old Anthony Michael Ware's welfare and believe he may be armed with a handgun. Ware was last seen leaving his home around 9 o'clock last night. He was wearing a black sweatshirt, jeans, and gray tennis shoes. Ware was driving a black four-door Toyota Tacoma pickup truck with a rusty bumper. Police believe he may be heading to his father's house in New London.
Any new information should be forwarded to West Bend Police.
Today, the expected conclusion of the Michael Mattioli homicide trial in Milwaukee.
Criminal defense attorney Julius Kim of law firm Kim & Lavoie says the facts of this particular case essentially required Mattioli to take the stand on Thursday and explain his actions. But he says today's closing arguments could be just as influential.
There are certain cases where I think closing arguments can have more of an impact, and this is probably one of those situations. You know, Michael Mattioli, for what he's accused of doing, also has got kind of a sympathetic background. He's a police officer. Evidently, he was in the National Guard as well.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Mattioli's case took more than 3 years to get to trial. Legal experts say it's just one example of lengthy delays due to the felony case backlog stemming from the COVID pandemic. Retired Chief Judge Mary Truggiano tells TMJ4 News.
Every stakeholder group seems to be down in staffing anywhere from 30 to 40%. And when you're trying to handle cases and figure out jury trials, you actually need more people than less to chip away at that backlog.
The backlog issue continues despite a $14 million investment to attract prosecutors and public defenders.
As a humanitarian window to get civilians out of Gaza briefly opens this morning, a woman from Cedarburg just returned from traveling to Israel. Heather Poland-Birkin, she is Jewish, has been an ER nurse for 22 years, works at the Milwaukee VA. She tells WTMJ what it was like to visit Israel during this time.
In the beginning, I had to get used to hearing sirens because there would be red alerts every time a missile was launched from Gaza, which was pretty frequent. And there was an app everyone needed to have on their phone. So if there was a missile in your direction, your phone would alert. And if you were close to a bomb shelter, depending on where you were in the country, you had 15 to 90 seconds to get into a shelter.
Poland-Birkin said it was a relief whenever she heard the explosions overhead coming from Israel's Iron Dome intercepting a missile.
Coming up, the latest on the push for a Kenosha casino.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
Happy Fish Fry Friday. John Merck here from WTMJ. I love the Mine Shaft's Fish Fry. And listen to this. The Mine Shaft has lowered the price on their Wednesday and Friday fish fry. The cod is all you can eat. It's $9.99. Now, the shrimp perch and poor man's lobster are all $9.99. And each one is all you can eat. It's yummy and it's affordable. Don't pay $16 to $20 for a fish fry. Just don't do it. It's $9.99 at the Mine Shaft. And desserts, I love the chocolate cake, are buy one, get one free every day. Your kids can safely play in that $5 million game room, quietly tucked away from the dining area while you finish up your dinner. The Mine Shaft is family friendly, and the Saturday prime rib dinner is under $25. The Sunday brunch under $15. Great value. The super affordable Mine Shaft in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh. Plenty of seating. Plenty of close parking, serving families like yours for over 46 years. Reserve your table for the all-you-can-eat fish fry today. Under $10, it's the Mine Shaft.
Attention value hunters, save on new Black Friday Now deals this week at Fleet Farm. Enjoy 20% off select sizes of our chocolate candies. Get a Food Saver vacuum sealing system for just $69.99. Stay warm and cozy with Mega Warmer 10-packs, 2 for $10. And stock up on softwood fuel pellets, 2 bags for only $11. Save big on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm.
Don't let your retirement sit on the sidelines. It's time to put a plan in place. Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal, president of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. We know you've worked hard to build a life for the ones you love. Now it's time to ensure you get the most out of your retirement. If you have $750,000 or more in retirement assets, schedule your complimentary retirement review with us today at thekowalway.com or call 262-522-4040. That's 262-522-4040.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time 7:07.
What is with the Bucks getting thrown out of games? Head coach got tossed this most recently. Brandon Snide tells us what he said to get thrown out. That's coming up in sports at 7:15.
Governor Tony Evers planning to sign an amended bill that will allow clerks to begin processing absentee ballots a day early. The Journal-Sentinel says it's part of a bipartisan response to suggestions from clerks on improving the efficiency of running elections. Problems have come up resulting from large amounts of ballots getting processed late and sometimes can change which candidate is in the lead in an election.
Voting rights activists gathered at 60th and Capitol Drive on Thursday. They've been working to find a new location for an early voting center. The former Midtown Bank now is that spot. It replaces the well-known Midtown Center located in that area. It closed last month. Executive Director of Souls to Polls, Wisconsin, Reverend Greg Lewis, says he hopes the lease will get signed soon.
We are grateful for this new site, but we need to make sure the city council and mayor get it over the finish line. This new site has the potential to be even better than the last one.
Thousands of voters cast their ballots at the previous site, and organizers hope the new location's proximity to the bus line, sufficient parking, and ADA compliance will make it just as successful.
It's been a story roughly 20-plus years in the making, and it's getting a new take on it this week. The pros and cons of a Kenosha casino being laid out at another public hearing.
The proposal for a casino and entertainment center project in Kenosha with the Menominee Indian Tribe of Wisconsin and Hard Rock will be a huge win for our region.
That attendee and many others excited about the 1,000 jobs that a casino owned by the Menominee Gaming Authority could bring when built. But some, like John Bush, are opposed. Bush saying the data on the public's opinion of a casino is outdated.
I oppose finding out that we're basing this off of a referendum in 2004. I'm 23 years old. That would have made me 4 years old.
Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Just showing the dating of this, too. Like you were saying in the break to me, Vince, this has just been a story for so many years.
Since ever. And I think, why is it a prime location? I mean, obviously it's proximity to, the northern Illinois area, of course, thinking bringing people across the border, but also, the former Dairyland Greyhound track. I think that was the Dairyland, right?
I thought you were teeing me up
so
for the Dairy Lounge. Like, do you have VIP tickets to the Dairy Lounge?
Could be onto something. 7:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Thomas Hood wrote a poem titled No. It ends with, no shade, no shine, no butterflies, no bees, no fruits, no flowers, no leaves, no birds, November. Sounds like he lived here. Is your home ready for November? Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best home defense contractor, has been imploring you for years to get and keep your home protected against Wisconsin's weather, especially winter. November is the overture to winter. Call Siding Unlimited now before the polar vortex lady sings her chilling song through your doors, windows, roofs, and siding. Siding Unlimited is the best installer with the best products to mute Vortex's screech. America's best products, Pella and Sunrise Window, CertainTeed Roofing, LP SmartSide Siding, and others identify Siding Unlimited as Wisconsin's best installer. You just need to contact them. Go to sidingunlimited.com and change it to no drafts, no chills, no excess heating bills November. Sidingunlimited.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Evans Transportation Services. Thank heavens for Evans.
Rely on one company for accounting, shipping, and tracking. Evans Transportation Services. Family owned for 40 years and continuing to grow. Evans Transportation Services in Delafield.
11 minutes after 7 o'clock on Friday. What do you have, Debbie?
Not much. Got a pretty good ride shaping up across the entire area. Just a little bit heavy northbound 43 from Keefe up to Capitol. But for the rest of the system, moving along just fine. No major problems. Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today: early sunshine followed up by afternoon cloud cover. Temperatures topping out in the mid-40s. We'll look for decreasing clouds overnight as lows dip back to around the freezing mark. Sunny and pleasant for our Veterans Day. Highs in the upper 40s. We'll look for a mix of sunshine and cloud cover on Sunday. Mild with a high of 54. And the sunshine is back for Monday and Tuesday. A bit warmer with highs in the upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee down to 39 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
At 7:12, some I think most of us who are from here know, right? Guys who made the airplane movies, the Zucker brothers, they're from here.
Can you fly this plane and land it? Surely you can't be serious. I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Favorite movie of all time, Vince.
Yeah.
Honestly,
number
airplane
one.
favorite one.
David and Jerry Zucker, Shorewood High School alums, did the airplanes and then so many other politically incorrect comedies that you probably can't even make right now, much less watch.
Yeah, don't try that, kids.
Yeah. Including the Naked Gun films, of course, several of which famously starred O.J. Simpson.
Quick, give this man some drugs. Quick, can't you see he's in pain?
No.
Give him a shot, quickly.
No. Heroin. Heroin, Frank.
Nordberg, that's a pretty tall order. You're going to have to give me a couple of days on that one.
So he's in the hospital bed. So this week we're bringing back a classic with WTMJ Conversations. Our Libby Collins talked with filmmaker David Zucker about all of it, including having worked with O.J. Simpson.
You also did Naked Gun. I have to ask you this, David. O.J. Simpson was in those movies. Yes. At the time, when you were working with him, was there any inkling in your interaction that maybe things weren't all that they seemed with him?
There was no inkling for us. I mean, he was, pretty nice guy, and I thought he actually improved as an actor with each movie. But, there was one time on the set when I was doing an impersonation of Howard Cosell, and, which was about O.J. crying on the phone, and he got angry about that. He said, never happened. That never happened.
Really?
That's BS, man. That never happened. And that was the only time when a kind of a cloud came over. And then I was shocked when the murders happened. I didn't feel good about it. And my phone started ringing, and so I left town. I went to New York for a week.
Did your paths ever cross since then?
Never crossed since then. And I didn't want to because, what was I going to say? Hey, Juice. Hey, how you doing? Nice murder.
Special edition of WTMJ Conversations with Libby Collins. She talked with filmmaker David Zucker of airplane fame Saturday. We're going to air it tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Surely you can't be serious.
No, I am serious.
And don't call him Shirley.
Early for a Saturday, but you can pull the podcast as well. That's up at WTMJ.com. Look for WTMJ Conversations.
So you have your down payment in mind and you're ready to buy your new home. You figure your monthly payment, add in your taxes, and realize, hey, you can do this. But you forgot the 6% commission that you'll have to pay your real estate agent. Whoa, 6%. That's a lot, especially when we'll sell your home for as low as 3.5% and no higher than 3.9%. And that's 100% full service with no upfront fees. I'm Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where we'll make your move simple and affordable. Benefit-realty.com. Don't let the term discount real estate agent throw you. All it means is that we'll give you the same experience, expertise, and know-how as the big-name real estate firms, but we'll do it for less. And when you weigh 6% commission against as low as 3.5% and no higher than 3.9% for a full-service real estate agent, including full MLS marketing with no upfront fees, you'll realize there's no reason for you to pay more. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where we'll make your move simple and affordable. Benefit-realty.com.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Tough night for Bucks fans as Giannis scored a season-high 54, but committed 2 late turnovers and a late 3 to tie was just off the mark for the Bucks as the Indiana Pacers beat Milwaukee 126-124.
From 3, it missed too strong. The long rebound goes out of bounds back to the Pacers with 3.7 seconds to go. They got the shot they were after, but Middleton just too much on it. And Indiana is now in the driver's seat.
Dave Kane on the call there as Middleton missed that 3 late to tie the game, and the Bucks with the loss fall to 5-3. Giannis with that 54 points that we just mentioned. He also became the 5th player in NBA history to lose a game with 50 points on 75% shooting. The Bucks were without their starting point guard as Damian Lillard did miss the game with a calf injury. They also lost their head coach, Adrian Griffin, for much of the second half as he was ejected early in that third quarter after arguing with an official about a no call on Giannis. What exactly did Griffin say to the referee?
We just had a difference of opinions of what I thought that, it was really physical, and I thought Giannis was getting hit quite a bit, and, I voiced my opinion, and next time I'll do it in a little bit more delicate way. But it was a physical game, and give them credit. They jumped on us early, and they were able to pull out the win.
You're okay with that?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I don't want you to get tossed, but
sticking up for his guy.
Just reminds me of Bull Durham, remember? He used a certain word that's a no-no with umpires, folks.
He's got to go. Next up for the Bucks is a road matchup Saturday night in Orlando. The Green Bay Packers are just days away from their Week 10 matchup out there in Pittsburgh after winning on Sunday for the first time in 4 weeks. Quarterback Jordan Love knows this task this week will be a taller one against a much better defense. QB1 speaking this week on how he feels things have gone halfway through the season for he and his offense.
I think it's been a lot of highs and a lot of lows, some inconsistencies. And I think, we're continuing to build every week and just trying to get this thing going where it's just consistent performance every week, where we're just continuing to lock in and focus on the plays, focus on our details, and just going out there and executing. But I think we're moving in the right direction for sure.
Packers Steelers from Pittsburgh all set for Sunday afternoon with coverage beginning right here on WTMJ at 9 a.m. And lastly, sticking with the NFL as the Bears knock off the Panthers to kick off Week 10 with the Thursday night win by a final of 16-13. Chicago with the victory, improving to 3-7 on their season. And Vince, even with the win, Bears fans letting the world know on national TV where their heart truly lies.
Let's just listen to what these Bears fans are chanting. That is right. You're hearing Green Bay sucks.
Well, they won.
That's right. Because they're yelling Green Bay
folks.
sucks. Well, that's not very nice.
Bears fans keeping the rivalry alive, even with the Packers not having the best of year. And maybe there's some facts into that chant, but
we don't suck.
But nonetheless, the rivalry still lives in Chicago there.
Okay, good. We'll see you again soon. 7:19 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Oh, I'm already running late. Let's go.
There is a backup on I-94 eastbound.
Wait, is that Debbie Lazaga?
Expect delays.
Well, how bad is it?
Alternate routes will help you in your journey.
I feel better.
Get where you need to go calmly with traffic reporter Debbie Lazaga, only on News Radio WTMJ.
Follow me on social.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. You heard me complaining earlier about my various ailments. Ortho Wisconsin has helped me through a lot of them, including when I blew out my hamstring water skiing this summer. My docs at Ortho Wisconsin, they actually heard us talking about it on the radio. They called me, said, hey, man, you probably are going to want to come in and get this thing checked out. Actually, I did. I am, although I'm having trouble running still, back on the tennis court. I'm playing golf. Grateful for the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin who've helped me through that. Injured or maybe the young athlete in your family needs some help? Ortho ASAP Clinic has walk-in hours in Brookfield and Pewaukee, or you can make an appointment anytime to see one of the specialists at orthowisconsin.com.
There are many reasons to choose document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Chris McLean, co-owner of DBAT Brookfield, the baseball and softball training facility, had his reasons.
I think the biggest thing, the important things for me are effective communication and timely response.
James Imaging Systems, Kyocera copiers, Kyocera network printers, Kyocera color systems, and the James team that works with you to provide the business technology to help you thrive.
Honestly, Candy had a lot to do with it.
Candy, your James Imaging Systems sales representative.
Candy built great rapport with our general manager right out of the gate. It helps that they're a local business. We're a local business as well.
James Imaging Systems, effective communication and local responsiveness.
They're a partner. James Imaging is a partner, not a vendor.
Kyocera from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Traffic is sponsored by Weisgerber's Golden Mast Inn, your place on the lake. Visit goldenmastin.com.
Looking for a perfect wedding venue? Open air terrace nestled over Okachi Lake. Weisberger's Golden Mast. Have it all at the lake. Your wedding place on the lake. Visit goldenmastin.com.
Hurts my ears every time, Debbie. It should be Weisberger's.
Oh.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, Weisberger's.
Yes, I'm just hungry, yeah.
What do you got on the roads?
Try not to think too much. All right, we've got actually a great ride shaping up. Even the delays on 43 northbound have eased up nicely. We really don't see any kind of delays. Got one broken down vehicle on eastbound 94 just past Moreland Road off on the left shoulder. But really everything is looking good. I'm Debbie Lozga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Was ist los mit die Wetter heute? Early sunshine today, high of 45 degrees. Decreasing clouds and a low down to 32 tonight. Weekend looks pretty good. Sunny on Saturday with a high of 47. Warming up on Sunday even to a high of 54 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds. And then for the work week ahead, sunny and mild, high of 58 on Monday. Tuesday's high 57 under sunny skies. Right now at 40 in Milwaukee. At 7:22 on Wisconsin's Morning News, announced this week a new performance venue managed by Pabst Theater Group on Milwaukee's east side. Now, Pabst Theater Group sometimes confuses people. They book shows for multiple venues. So you got Pabst Theater, obviously, but also the Riverside, Turner Hall, Ballroom. They book for Miller High Life Theater. That's the old Milwaukee Auditorium. And now, Vivarium.
3, 2, 1. Yeah.
I like the sound of the scissor cut as Alderman Jonathan Brostoff, District 3, getting the ceremonial cut at what is going to be called, Vince, Vivarium.
All right, so WTMJ's Adam Robertson for Eric this week, and you were at that news conference, right?
I was. All the big players in the local small Milwaukee music scene were out to play at Vivarium. Which,
where are we here? The east side?
Yep, if you know Royal and Farwell. So if you're on those two diagonals, very far on the east side, it's kind of the lower end, a few blocks north, actually, of another small music venue, which I'll touch on in just a moment. But Gary Witt, president and CEO, he was out there kind of getting things started, talking about the power of independent venues in the city.
One thing you could be super proud of in Milwaukee is that 100% of the industry of the concert business and the small venues that we have, 4,000 seats and under, is controlled by all independent venues.
He makes a good point. There are so many of these tiny little just 300, 400 seaters in the area, not just Milwaukee. I love X-Ray Arcade, just throwing them a freebie there out in Cudahy. Great place to go see a show in a very intimate environment. And there's so many of these places all over the place, Vince. And the notable thing about Vivarium, I'm emphasizing the name, we'll get to that in just a second, but
okay.
One of the things that's notable about this is it's an all-ages venue. Now, for someone like me, I lived in La Crosse for a decade, and we had a place called The Warehouse, which is an all-ages venue right downtown. Any kid could go there, see a show, not have the aura of, oh, is this going to be a crazy environment that I'm going into? It's a place to feel safe, which, you know, you go to concerts, it can be pretty hectic.
Okay.
And it's nice to feel like you can go to a place and just be welcomed in. And Brostoff told me how important it is for the city. Is there's so many things to do, but sometimes there's not enough for kids who live in the city to do.
I think this is just a huge win for Milwaukee's music scene, for Milwaukee's youth, and quite frankly, for Milwaukee in general.
So just, like again, to the point of you want to have a place to go if you're a kid that doesn't feel like you're being pressured into do things that you don't want to do necessarily. And to his point, kids need more to do in the city. We can have as many beer halls and brewery tours as we want, but if you're 13 or 14-year-old and live in Milwaukee, it's like, well, what do I have to do?
So, but the concern is that I continue to have, not just with this most recent announcement, Adam, it's something that we've talked about before, is, can all of these venues, continue to operate, or do these simply end up cannibalizing one another here? Like, is there enough room for all of these venues?
So that's the interesting thing, Vince. So I mentioned the venue just down the street. So this venue, Vivarium, is replacing the back room at Collectivo. If you just go up the street a little bit.
Seen a show there.
It's basically just taking that venue, picking it up, and putting it somewhere else. So now down the street, you may hear of Shank Hall. It's been around for many, many years. I actually reached out to their owner, Peter, and he seems pretty kosher about it. It seems cool. Like, yeah, we are, as a small venue collective, basically. We work together, and it's not a bad thing. It's a tide that raises all ships, if you will. So he seemed perfectly fine with it. I did notice, though, some of the TV stations were trying to make this about parking. Where are the cars going to park?
Well, of course, you have to have a controversy there.
Well, naturally. That reeks to me of a news director saying, all right, you're going to this thing where everyone's going to be happy, smiles. Find me a problem, please. So,
not for nothing, it's tough to park on the east side.
It is. It's very dense. But to that point, there's a lot also, more so than in other areas, there's things moving through. There's buses. There's lifts. And it's only 400 people at max that are going to be in this thing. It's not going to have 8,000 people congregating on the Lower East Side.
What's with the name?
So the name Vivarium, I think, hot take, one of the worst names for a venue in history. It's ridiculous because it's Latin for place of life. And that's nice, but it's also the name of a 2019 Irish horror movie, Vivarium, about these two people, Jesse Eisenberg and his co-actress, living in a controlled living environment.
Number 9 again. Did we just do some kind of loop?
How if we just...
Want me to drive? Such a jerk. Because I think this is not possible. We can't make turns like this over and over.
We have gone this way, Tom. Oh my god. Hello?
Maybe you should have workshopped that one, Gary. That's all I'm saying.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was off about 220 points in trading on Thursday to 33,892. The NASDAQ closed at 13,521. That was off about 130 points. And the S&P 500 to 4347. That was down about 35. It's time for the Annex Wealth Management Tax Smart Planning Review. They'll review, assess, and provide strategies you can use. Go to annexwealth.com/taxsmart.
Hey, it's 620 WTMJ's Brian D. You know what time of year it is. Snacks around Halloween. Lots of family photos through the holidays. Make sure those pearly whites are looking pearly and white. Go see my guy, Dr. James Michaels at Oconomowoc Dental Care. Whether it's a simple cleaning and exam, a more complex dental procedure, a teeth whitening, or an implant, the team at Oconomowoc Dental Care and Dr. Michaels are going to take great care of you, just like they've taken great care of me. Centrally located between Milwaukee and Madison, the team at Oconomowoc Dental Care is always going to make you as comfortable as possible while you're in the chair and give both you and your family an amazing smile. At Oconomowoc Dental Care, affordable quality dentistry is no longer a dream, it's the reality. Dr. Michael's fantastic and friendly staff can help you out with a no-interest payment plan. We all have to go to the dentist, so don't wait any longer. Go see my guy, Dr. James Michaels at Oconomowoc Dental Care. Call his friendly and caring staff today and make an appointment with my guy, Dr. Michaels.
If you can't get a good night's sleep, let me ask you, are you breathing well? Because if you're snoring or waking up each night with a stuffed up nose, or frustrated with your CPAP mask, the root of your sleep problem lies in your breathing triangle. And if any one of those passages isn't working, you won't sleep well. And there's no mattress, pill, or other gimmick that can fix that. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. A recipe for a good night's sleep starts with an open airway. Now, there are devices that can help solve snoring or sleep apnea problems. If you walk into a sleep center, know you'll walk out with a CPAP. And you might find other options elsewhere. But the simple truth is, if your nose doesn't work properly, no device will help. Only at Advent will you find every effective snoring and sleep apnea solution, along with a world-class team that can get your nose working properly again.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Everything's looking great out on the roads right now. Very minimal delays. Just a quick tap of the brakes southbound 43 right into Capitol. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Bit chilly as you're starting your day. A high of just 45 today. Right now, it's only a handful of degrees in Milwaukee.
The White House says Israel has agreed to daily 4-hour humanitarian pauses to get civilians out of Gaza and to get aid in. But there were fresh Israeli strikes hitting Hamas targets overnight near several hospitals in Gaza City.
Fireballs shooting skyward, people scrambling for cover. The Israeli bombardment intensifying near two of Gaza's main hospitals where Israel claims Hamas has command posts. And it all comes as the lives of 239 hostages in Gaza hang in the balance. The Palestinian Islamic Jihad releasing video of 77-year-old Hannah Katsir and 12-year-old Yagil Yaakov. The hostages pleading for Israel to expedite negotiations for their release.
ABC's Matt Gutman. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin announcing he won't seek re-election next year, raising concern a Republican could take the seat, while Manchin could become a third-party presidential candidate, hurting President Biden. The FBI investigating envelopes of powdery substances, including fentanyl, mailed to election offices in 6 states. I'm Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time 7:31, and just to clarify, a handful of degrees equals 38 degrees this morning in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we are following a developing story this morning. A green alert has been issued for a missing veteran in West Bend who reportedly may be armed with a Glock handgun. West Bend police say Anthony Michael Weary left his residence in West Bend around 9 o'clock last night. He was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, jeans, and gray tennis shoes. Possible destination could be to his father's residence in New London in northeast Wisconsin. Anyone with information is urged to contact West Bend police. In a Milwaukee courtroom,
I thought he was perfectly fine. I didn't know that he was hurt. I truly did not know that.
And had you known he was hurt or he wasn't breathing, would you have gotten off him?
Absolutely.
Closing arguments and jury instructions expected this morning in the trial of former Milwaukee police officer Michael Mattioli, accused of killing Joel Acevedo after a house party in April of 2020.
Michael Mattioli himself took the stand on Thursday afternoon. Criminal defense attorney Julius Kim of law firm Kim & Lavoie tells WTMJ it was a risky choice, but necessary in this case.
He has to explain a lot of his actions that didn't paint him out to look very good. If you remember, for first-degree reckless homicide, the state has to show that he showed utter disregard for human life. And there were a lot of things about this case that kind of make it seem that way, right? Because he didn't know whether he even was breathing or not. He was saying some really bad things after the police got there about whether he didn't care whether he was hurt or injured or alive.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Mattioli's case, just one of over 1,400 felony cases in a backlog at the Milwaukee County Circuit Court. Federal felony court judges currently handling an average of 93 more cases at a time compared to in March of 2020. And Milwaukee City Attorney Tierman Spencer responding to calls for felony charges and the removal of himself and one of his deputy city attorneys. This comes after the city's inspector general says Deputy City Attorney Odalo Ohiku was working for his private law firm on city hours. TMJ4's Sean Gallagher spoke with Spencer.
An honor system that's been called into question after an anonymous tip kicked off IG Rhonda Kohlheim's investigation in June of 2022.
We're talking again about professionals, officers of the court. You would expect them to do certain things with honor and dignity, and that's the premise we move on.
But Spencer downplaying this as a simple mistake, saying the amount of money in question wouldn't be worth the hassle.
I can't see how he can intentionally do anything for $5,000 over 3 years, really. You know, I think if you're going to see something like that, you would see a higher number.
The Inspector General says Ohiku collected around $5,700 over the course of 11 days between 2020 and 2023. Coming up, everyone's favorite thing to debate about, tipping. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:34.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
Be our eyes on the roads. Report incidents to the WTMJ HallMazdaMilwaukee.com traffic tip line 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Mazda during Mazda's season of inspiration.
This report is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Pain relief and gimmicks. The two seem to go hand in hand. And it really is a shame, because when you're living with chronic pain, you're vulnerable. And that's why so many people get tricked into buying unproven treatments. At Rejuvenix, we understand how you suffer, how you wait to get out of bed because you know the pain is coming. Chronic pain from osteoarthritis is a terrible thing. And that's why we use our proprietary, powerful, FDA-approved treatments to precisely target your affected areas, to provide cushion and lubrication that helps deliver long-lasting pain relief in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. We're in-network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenix. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus.
If Hasselus Mattress doesn't have employees, how do customers buy mattresses?
Easy. Just order by phone, online, or at our in-store kiosk.
Also, why say you slept like a baby when babies don't sleep well?
I don't know about babies, but you sleep better having paid way less. Through Monday, get a $200 credit towards your new CertaPerfect Sleeper, Beauty Rest, or Sealy Posturepedic mattress, and free next-day delivery.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Do the changing seasons have you dreaming of that perfect sun-kissed getaway? From the Caribbean and Mexico to Hawaii or Florida, Fox World Travel's expert travel advisors can recommend their favorite beach resorts with Delta Vacations or island-hopping cruises with Holland America and Celebrity Cruises. What are you waiting for? Don't miss out on the best savings of the season. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. There are memories to be made, and Fox has the expertise to get you there.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
Bucks head coach Adrian Griffin got thrown out of last night's game. He explains himself coming up in Sports with Brandon at 7:45.
One of the favorite things of everyone to debate about information, sharing just how confusing it seems to be.
When to tip and how much, causing angst nationwide with a divide over which services should get tips at all. A new study by the Pew Research Center saying the confusion has Americans throwing up their hands and closing their wallets, especially over recent trends like automatic service fees and suggested tipping amounts printed on their checks. Only 10% of those surveyed said they appreciated the fees and suggestions. 72% saying tipping is expected in more places today than it was 5 years ago. And those touchscreens at takeout spots or other establishments that give a recommended tipping amount, 40% of those surveyed were opposed. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
I don't mind the recommended tipping. They've done the math for you, which... Actually, if you can't do 20%, that's 10% twice added up. Like, okay, then we have
it's my understanding that there would be no math.
Yes. So I got no problem with that, with the recommendation. I think that, where the confusion continues to come in is, say you're just picking up a sandwich at the sub shop, right? Mm-hmm. You're not even eating there. You go there, you order, they bring you the bag of sandwiches. Like, what is my...
You get out of Dodge.
Right. Is that an assembly fee? Like, did you put the sandwich together for me? You also don't want to be cheap.
Do you think people would be for or against just seeing assembly fee added to their bill instead of, well, it's...
At the sub shop, sandwich assembly fee? Maybe not.
Yeah, probably.
7:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News. News is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management's Money Talk. That's heard Saturdays at 10 right here on WTMJ.
Do you cringe when you look at your high school pictures? So much has changed. From your hair, today you might not have any, or maybe it's a completely different color. How about the innocence of your smile? We grow up and learn the world is bigger than we thought. It's the same with your money. Your views of wealth, legacy, and taxes have all grown up. Has your financial plan? At Annex Wealth Management, our team of tax experts can help you understand how your plan could improve. The Annex team will show you strategies that could help safeguard your wealth. And because we're fee-only fiduciaries, you won't have to put up with high-pressure sales or advice that isn't in your best interest. As you accumulate more wealth, there's a chance your tax pictures become more complex. The Annex Tax Smart Strategy Review will give you insights on your current tax plan and help build a framework to prioritize tax strategies. Take a proactive approach. Get an Annex Wealth Management Tax Smart Strategy Review. Visit annexwealth.com/taxsmart.
Home and auto insurance is getting more expensive these days. Here's Jeff Salazinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Thank you, Vince. Multiple years of inflation are making this homeowners and auto insurance market difficult for buyers. In today's market, buyers need options. Agents that can only provide a quote from one company cannot create competition for you that brings you the best price. Secondly, these same agents and their one company option are passing along huge price increases this year. Your path to a better price is through creating competition. R&R Insurance works with over 20 A-rated insurance companies. Don't settle for just one quote.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
With 48 years of stability, local family ownership, and deep industry knowledge, R&R Insurance will be focused on you and will build a strategy to make sure your family has the right protection and a competitive price. At R&R Insurance, we know home and auto insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let Tayback help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Checking in with Debbie here, 20 minutes before 8.
All right, starting to see a few more cars out there. Westbound 94 between 27th Street and Mitchell Boulevard. Watch out for that. Also, northbound on 43 right around the North Avenue curve all the way up to Keefe. Southbound has a couple pockets through the construction zone right at Capitol Drive. And then on the bypass, looks like northbound 894 right at Lincoln Avenue. We've got a broken down vehicle. And it's off on the right shoulder. So we have a little bit of a backup coming up from about Oklahoma up to Lincoln. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for today, some early sunshine followed up by afternoon cloud cover. Temperatures topping out today in the mid-40s. Decreasing clouds overnight as lows drop to the freezing mark. It's sunny and pleasant for Veterans Day. Highs in the upper 40s. We'll look for a mix of sunshine and cloud cover on our Sunday. Mild with a high of 54. And the sunshine is back for Monday and Tuesday, a bit warmer with highs in the upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Brendan Johnson with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee at 39 degrees. Planning out the weekend. Just got Badgers tomorrow, Northwestern. Nobody talking about that game at the moment. Just skip right on over to
Over
Sunday.
under for points, maybe 15?
Yeah. Packers play Sunday, got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember what Packers president Mark Murphy said a couple of years ago? I was at the annual shareholders meeting.
Well, here's the reality. If we have a lot of noon home games, we're a shitty team.
It's a great line. Well, we got our third straight noon kickoff this weekend, so there you go. Brandon Snide breaks down the matchup in sports next.
Traffic is sponsored by Evans Transportation Services. Thank heavens for Evans.
This is a year of change for Wisconsin football. Whether it's a new quarterback or coach, our teams will be exciting to watch this season. As Wisconsin's 3PL, Evans Transportation knows a thing or two about changing things up when it comes to manufacturers' accounting, shipping, and tracking needs. Call Evans if your supply chain team isn't running on all cylinders this season. Good luck to our Wisconsin football teams from Wisconsin's 3PL in Delafield. Find them at evanstrans.com. That's evanstrans.com.
You work hard and play by the rules, but that's not what your monopoly utility wants to do. Utilities are spending millions lobbying lawmakers for a special deal that will increase rates even more, putting corporate profits over consumers. Hard-working Wisconsin taxpayers deserve better. Call your state legislator today. Tell them to vote no on Assembly Bill 470 and Senate Bill 481, paid for by the Electricity Transmission Competition Coalition.
Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life. Brands from Carhartt to Milwaukee to Purina to Goodyear to Rapala to Levi's and a whole lot more. In store or online, check out all the brands Fleet Farm carries to help make your everyday life better.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
The Bucks' 3-game winning streak was snapped on Thursday night as Giannis dropped a NBA season-high 54 points in a losing cause as Milwaukee went down 126-124 against the Indiana Pacers. The Bucks having no Damian Lillard in this one. He's still nursing a calf injury. Milwaukee also found themselves down 18 points at one point, and despite an early ejection in the third quarter, as head coach Adrian Griffin argued a no call on his superstar, he was proud of the fight his team showed.
I really, you hate losing. There's no moral victories, but the way we started the game, obviously we can't do that on the road. But we easily could have just stayed down, but we got back up and we got ourselves into the game with great energy and effort. So it was a valiant effort from our team. Just too bad we couldn't pull it out at the end.
We mentioned Adrian Griffin, who was tossed arguing a no call on Giannis. Giannis was also speaking post-game on Thursday, he was also ejected on Wednesday, spoke about what it meant for his coach to have his back.
I definitely appreciate that, and people that have my back one time, I have their back 1,000 times. As a player, it's always good to feel like your coach have your back, and we had the conversation yesterday after the game. I know he has my back. Try my best to have his back too.
The Bucks will look to rebound Saturday night when they take on the Magic in Orlando. To the NFL, where the Packers are just a couple of days away from their Week 10 matchup in Pittsburgh, where they will look to make it 2 wins in a row. One way to accomplish that, including running back Aaron Jones.
Yeah, I think just his presence out there on the field, the defense has to account for him at all times. They got to know where he's at and what he's doing. But like I've said before, he's a playmaker. The more we can give him the ball, the better. Then obviously, just for the team, he's one of our leaders out there, one of our best leaders. Yeah, he's a great guy. Everybody feels the juice when he's out there, and I think the defense does as well.
Jones has been a full participant this week in practice, as has receiver Christian Watson and defensive lineman Kenny Clark. After missing practice earlier in the week, guard John Runyon Jr. and tackle Yosh Nijman also returned on Thursday. On the flip side, no Jair Alexander and no Quay Walker for the Pack. The team fully preparing to have neither of them play on Sunday. Coverage of Packers Steelers will begin right here on WTMJ Sunday morning beginning at 9 a.m. And lastly, busy weekend in Madison that begins tonight. A tough test for the Badgers men's basketball team is all set for tonight. The number 9 ranked Tennessee Volunteers scheduled for an 8 p.m. tip-off over at the Kohl Center. And come Saturday afternoon, a visit from Northwestern for Luke Fickell and his 5-4 Badgers. Kickoff for that, we'll call it Big Ten clash, is set for
something's got to give.
Something's got to give.
What do you make of Badgers basketball this year? No idea.
AJ Storr is a fun story. He's the transfer that they got going into this year, so that's exciting. They got a tough schedule, which obviously that starts tonight with Tennessee. Tennessee's the
Vols.
They'll be good. So it's tough to tell. It's early, but their schedule's challenging, and the year they had last year, they definitely need a rebound.
Yeah, and obviously Marquette expected to be very good. Marquette, what they do every year is the years that they either come out of nowhere where nobody was looking for them and all of a sudden win the Big East, or they're highly touted and then they end up coming up short. Hope that's not the case this year, because I think we're ranked, 5th or so, thereabouts?
Well, the football season we have had in Wisconsin, Vinny, basketball season needs to be exciting and something to look forward to.
No doubt. 7:47, Mark Tauscher joins us next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Every day, it seems like there's always something new going on in the world of politics. Join WTMJ now for the Political Power Hour. Bill McCoshen.
The first lesson I learned when I worked for Governor Thompson is never give away power.
And Joe Zepecki.
I'm often accused of being the Eeyore on this panel, so let's try to find a silver lining.
Will help make sense of today's political headlines.
He's the guy that sits in the front of the class and always has an answer for something, and you're like, sit down and shut up.
I thought you were that guy.
No.
It's the Political Power Hour on WTMJ.
Do more together this holiday in a new Chevy. Take on more adventure in the strong and capable Chevy Silverado. More confidence in the Chevy Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs 2 years running. And more value in the all-new Chevy Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Bring the holidays together in a new Chevy. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com. For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
The average 30-year fixed rate is the highest it's been in 23 years. But low overhead AccuNet still has some special 30-year fixed rate money for first-time Wisconsin homebuyers at a rate of 6.625%. That's right, 6.625 on a 30-year fixed with an APR as low as 6.8 with as little as 3% down. Household income limits apply and vary by household size and the county in which your new home is located. Now, you might be thinking this is too good to be true, but it is true, and it gets even a little better. AccuNet can also provide a 10-year fixed second mortgage at an APR of 6.625 to cover the minimum 3% down payment and closing costs. First-time buyers in today's market have an advantage. You don't have a home to sell, and the housing market is a little less competitive all of a sudden, too. Hear that sound? That's opportunity knocking. Answer the door and click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com for your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
This week at Sendik's, Copper River salmon fillets are just $7.99 per pound. It's Seafood Week at Sendik's, your trusted local grocer.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Seafood Week at Sendik's. Sendik's, our sponsor for traffic here. Your trusted local grocer since 1926. Sendik's Food Market Seafood Week. Let's go, Deb.
And now I'm hungry again.
Yeah,
Thank
right.
you.
Talk to Brandon about it.
All right. Well, we got southbound on 43 backing up from about Hampton Avenue down past Keefe. Not too bad. Northbound's a little bit heavy from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to about Keefe. Westbound 94 really kind of slowing down a lot now from about 27th Street through the Stadium Interchange. Northbound on the bypass, a little slow from Beloit Road all the way up to about National. We do have a broken down vehicle off on the side of the road right about at Lincoln on the northbound side, so just something to keep in mind. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Actually, today, the worst of the days here in the next several. High of just 45 degrees today with some sunshine early. Clouds will move in this afternoon. We'll drop down to 32 degrees overnight under decreasing clouds. And Saturday looks pretty decent. High of 47 degrees under sunny skies. Sunday, mix of sun and clouds, but a high temperature up to 54. And look at Monday and Tuesday. Sunny and mild Monday, high 58. Tuesday's high 57 under sunny skies. Right now, 40 in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
When one of your kids is in 3rd, 4th, or 5th grade, do you always know what grade they're in?
Innovator.
There's no way Sarah would ever have to ask that question, and I felt horrible that I did, and I probably should have just not asked. Is that a really bad thing, or just has that ever happened to you guys?
And Packers Hall of Famer.
I think you should know the grade, Tausch. Right?
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by your Wisconsin Chevy dealers.
Mark Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News is sponsored by your Southeastern Wisconsin Chevy dealers. Did you watch the Thursday Nighter, Tausch?
I watched a little bit of it. I think, yeah, I checked in on it, but I legitimately was trying to think of a time there was a worse primetime standalone game.
Oof.
And I think we'd have a hard time finding which game that would be.
You see, it was the 1-7 Panthers against the... What were they, 2-5?
2-7 before
Bears.
the game, yeah.
Okay, Bears ended up winning that one. But Brandon was playing this sound from the game where at some point as the Bears were locking up that victory, this is their fan base in Chicago.
Let's just listen to what these Bears fans are chanting. That is right, you're hearing Green Bay sucks.
I love the. That's right. They're saying Green Bay sucks.
That was after the game. That was the post-game show that they were taking over. So the game was over. They already had the win.
Brandon, was somebody from Green Bay on the set?
I do not believe so.
What
on
on
your
earth?
Typical Thursday night crew? Richard Sherman. Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah, this tells you a lot. Yeah, normally stuff happens and you kind of are like, oh, that's cute, that's kitschy. But Bears fans just got a great win. Now, granted, you could say whatever you want. They're 3-7 with their backup quarterback. But more importantly, they won to keep the number 1 overall pick because their pick is now only has 1 win, and they have to keep Carolina at 1 win. And instead of thinking about all that, what's on top of mind for the Chicago Bears fans after a win on Thursday night, not against the Green Bay Packers? There wasn't some Packer announcer that was doing the game for Amazon. None of that. And what's at the top of their mind on a season that we're having that's disappointing? We're not the big dogs this year. What are they chanting after all of that? Packers suck? That's what they got?
I kind of like it.
That tells you everything you need to know about where the Chicago Bears are as a franchise. And if I'm a Bears fan and I hear that, that doesn't bring a smile to my face. It makes me sad. It makes me really sad.
I enjoyed it. Like, it tells me, like, obviously we're top of mind for them, and we still won that first game. And I look for, is that last game of the year again? Or
it is. Yeah.
It is.
Fantastic. Okay, fellas. I mean, we'll see you. We'll see you up here.
Yeah, I got a hard time. It's a proud franchise. They've obviously had some tough times, and they're going to probably get a whole nother round of coaches. I don't know what they'll do personnel-wise, but they're going to end up probably with a new quarterback. I think they made a wise trade last year, and obviously to position themselves to get there. And all you have after all that is to sit there and do that. From a Packer fan standpoint, we should enjoy the heck out of it. Because as you said, Vinny and Brandon, that is just, you guys can't get us out of your heads. And in a time where we're struggling as a fan base here, trying to figure out how can we go score points against Pittsburgh, and I can assure you, if we're not playing the Chicago Bears, I don't think our fans are going to start a chant of the Bears still suck. I could be wrong. I hope we don't ever get to that point, but that's basically what we saw, and I did not see this. As someone from a Packer fan standpoint, I think it is absolutely awesome that that's what they were doing.
Me too. Let's talk about Sunday. So we got another noon kickoff, this one in Pittsburgh, 1 p.m. Eastern, if that helps you. I would feel so much better. I was just thinking about this. We come into it, Tausch, at 3-5, and I'm thinking, man, if we were 4-4, and that's only one game difference, how different that would feel going into this week.
Yeah, it does, but I think with this team, it's just different. We're so accustomed to playoff pushes and where we're at, leading the division. Are we a game back? And I think with that stretch that we had against the Raiders and the Broncos, it reset my expectations. I think we got out to that fast start, beating the Bears, and then having the Falcons on the ropes where we could have been 2-0. I kind of changed my mindset a little bit, but I actually think while they're 3-5 right now, if you can find a way, and by the way, Pittsburgh's offense is not very good. Our defense is playing at a pretty good level. It ain't going to take some miraculous effort to go out to Pittsburgh and win. Now, we're going to have to play cleaner, and we're going to have to do some things on offense, but I'm not going to be shocked if we're talking here on Monday morning and saying, uh-oh, Packers just beat the Steelers, we're 4-5, and all of a sudden, you see that terrible team, the Carolina Panthers, they're on the schedule yet. Bears are on the schedule. Giants are on the schedule. And all of a sudden, I think the conversation can take a big turn if things can go well on Sunday.
Jim and Vonilak just texted in and said, we chant the Bears still suck in the concourse after every game. So,
okay. I've been at every Packers game this year. I've never heard it.
You haven't heard it?
I've never heard it.
And Joe Gable texted it. Joe just texted it. Maybe the Cubs' new manager was at the Bears game, and that got things started. Ooh, dagger.
Oh, burn.
Too soon.
Burn. Hey, Vinny, do you guys think we had this conversation on on our show yesterday? Does Craig Counsell ever take the Hiawatha at any point between Whitefish Bay and Chicago? Do you think he never rides it one way ever in this 5-year period of time?
No, I could see him on a late nighter back to Milwaukee. Hey, somebody come pick me up downtown. I'm coming home, overnighter, and I'll head back tomorrow morning.
Brandon's no. You think there's no chance, Brandon?
No way.
Hey, man, even if you're in a limo, you still got to sit in traffic.
One time?
He's got $40 million. Does he have to sit in traffic?
People think he's going to helicopter back and forth. I think that's crazy talk. He's not choppering back and forth.
Yeah, that's still hard to line up. I don't care how much money you got.
It is.
We'll talk again on Monday, Tausch.
See you guys.
Business headlines are up next with the Milwaukee Business Journal's Teddy Nichol.
WEC Energy Group Executive Chairman Gail Klappa will remain with the company but transition to the role of board chair in May 2024. Klappa has held his current position since January 2019 when he stepped down as CEO of the We Energy's parent company. The longtime owners of Groppy's Food Market in Milwaukee's Bayview neighborhood are selling the store, but it will remain open. The new owners are a pair of brothers that also own a store at the Milwaukee Public Market. The Milwaukee fine dining restaurant Ardent is opening a new tasting room on the east side in the space that formerly housed Red Light Ramen. The restaurant also has a new lounge next door serving cocktails and an a la carte menu, allowing diners to try Ardent's signature dishes. I'm Teddy Nykel with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Before you go looking for an area rug that you'll have to settle for because you think that the one you really want will be out of your budget, come to Design Exchange, where you'll find a formidable selection of Oriental, Persian, and other wool area rug choices at 25 to 70% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
Whatever you do, don't buy an engagement ring or any piece of diamond jewelry until you discover the all-new Diamonds Direct, opening very soon on Mayfair Road in front of Mayfair Mall. This is no ordinary jewelry store. Diamonds Direct is a global diamond powerhouse, started by former diamond wholesalers, a real direct importer bringing real price relief to Milwaukee. No middleman direct importer prices on exquisite diamonds, straight from the diamond cutters. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, bands, more diamond jewelry than you've ever seen in one place at prices you never thought possible. Why pay 20 to 30% more than you need to? Diamonds Direct is here to revolutionize how people here buy diamonds once and for all, with a staggering selection and prices that will blow you away. All this plus a stunning showroom, unbeatable warranties and guarantees, free service for life on any purchase, and a luxurious shopping experience. Diamonds Direct, Milwaukee's direct diamond importer. Opening soon on Mayfair Road in front of Mayfair Mall.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
The place to get caught up, to speak out, to connect and be entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
Just after 8 o'clock, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Friday, November 10th, our top story, closing arguments in the Michael Mattioli trial.
I'm Adam Roberts. A green alert for a missing veteran in West Bend.
I'm Debbie Lozica, southbound on 43. Going to be a bit heavy heading down from Hampton Avenue all the way down past Keefe. The northbound side heavy from Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe as well. We've also got a broken down vehicle on westbound 94 right about at Elm Grove Road. It's off on the left shoulder, kind of in a weird spot. So we are seeing some bunching coming in from Highway 100 to that point. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast, early sunshine today. Clouds moving in this afternoon and a high of just 45 degrees. Decreasing clouds overnight. Low down to 32 from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Today, the fifth and final day of the Michael Mattioli homicide trial.
Criminal defense attorney Julius Kim of law firm Kim & Lavoie says the facts of this particular case essentially required Mattioli to take the stand on Thursday and explain his actions. But he says today's closing arguments could be just as influential.
There are certain cases where I think closing arguments can have more of an impact, and this is probably one of those situations. You know, Michael Mattioli, for what he's accused of doing, also has got kind of a sympathetic background. He's a police officer. Evidently, he was in the National Guard as well.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Developing story we're continuing to follow this morning on WTMJ. A green alert has been issued for a missing veteran in West Bend who may be armed with a Glock handgun. West Bend police say Anthony Michael Weary left his residence in West Bend around 9 o'clock last night. Weary last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, jeans, and gray tennis shoes. Police believe a possible destination for Weary could be to his father's residence. He lives in New London, Wisconsin, in the northeast part of the state. Anyone with information is urged to contact West Bend police.
Israel has agreed to expand combat pauses to allow Palestinians to evacuate from Gaza as Israeli Defense Forces go after Hamas. ABC News Chief White House Correspondent Mary Bruce.
The hope, of course, is that this will allow time for more aid to get into Gaza and civilians to get out. And the White House is also hoping that this could help advance efforts to release these hostages. The president remains optimistic. They are working around the clock on this. The head of the CIA was in Qatar meeting with the prime minister there, and the head of the Israeli intelligence services trying to secure a deal to get them released. The president saying he is doing everything he can to bring them home.
President Biden with some rare criticism of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, saying that he wished that Netanyahu had acted sooner.
Coming up, the last thing you want to be thinking about when planning holiday travel.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:05. News is sponsored by Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. Retire well with Kowal.
A strong retirement plan should go beyond investments and savings. Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal, founder of Kowal Investment Group, the retirement specialist. We know that you have sacrificed to build the life for the ones you love. Now let us help you prepare to get the most out of your lifetime of hard work for both you and your family. For over 35 years, our team of nationally recognized fiduciary advisors have helped clients manage and preserve their wealth. Our focus on retirement gives you the experience you need to preserve your principal, grow your retirement income, and pass it on to your heirs or donate to the causes you care about most. When you have $750,000 or more in retirement assets, you know that every decision matters in your path to retirement. Now is the time to make one more smart decision. Call Kowal Investment Group today at 262-522-4040. That's 262-522-4040. Or visit thekowalway.com to schedule your complimentary, no obligation retirement review.
Kowal Investment Group is a registered investment advisor.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Floor Coverings International. They're doing the flooring in my house, and it is awesome. You get a rave-worthy experience with Floor Coverings International, the stars of flooring. Now enjoy special financing and save hundreds off on new floors during FCI's Save with the Stars event. Enjoy FCI's all-star service, including the mobile flooring showroom. I love that. Thousands of options, down to the penny quotes, and professional installation by one local team for your entire project. Offer ends 11/30/23, so schedule your in-home consultation today at FCIPromo.com. Offer good at participating locations.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Your Salvation Army donation shelters the homeless. Share hope today at samilwaukee.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. jamesimaging.com.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
The annual Red Kettle campaign for the Salvation Army is kicking off this morning in the Milwaukee 3rd Ward.
I'm at the Milwaukee Public Market where the Salvation Army is starting their Red Kettle campaign. Plenty of people are here to eat breakfast and hear their ideas for the upcoming holiday season. Some of them include a tap to pay, tap to give program where instead of giving cash, you can use your phone or card to give at the Red Kettles that you'll see outside. And their goal for this Red Kettle campaign, which is $4 million. I'm Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Aviation experts sounding the alarm ahead of the holiday travel season about the risk of close calls at the nation's airports.
The lead investigator at the NTSB telling a Senate subcommittee that a shortage of air traffic controllers is leading to fatigue and distraction, likely contributing to a growing list of planes nearly colliding on takeoff and landing. The FAA identified 23 close calls in the last year. We're now less than 2 weeks away from the busiest travel time of the year. Nearly half of Americans are expected to travel between Thanksgiving and mid-January.
That's ABC transportation correspondent Gio Benitez. Vince, I give a huge shout out to those air traffic control workers. They have to deal with so many different elements and watching planes go in and out and precision. So yeah, if there's a group you don't want burning out and having to control your holiday travel, it's that group.
One, anybody can relate to this at your work, and this happens in workplaces sometimes. A couple people quit, And then if those positions aren't replaced, then the people who are there have to pick up the slack. And then the more they have to pick up the slack, the more they want to quit. And it just causes this landslide of people. And all of a sudden, pretty soon, nobody's here. And we cannot have that. It's a big problem. 8:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
Our patient's most common regret statement? I just wish I would have done this sooner.
Find out more at AdventKnows.com because breathing well will help you live better.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback. Brave Americans who served shouldn't be denied benefits or have a disability claim incorrectly evaluated by the VA. If you're one of those vets, call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
Update on the roads here at 8:10 with Debbie.
Yep, slowing down just a bit. We've got westbound 94 backing up just out of the Highway 100 area all the way to Elm Grove Road, where there is a broken down vehicle on the left shoulder, so it's causing a bit of a distraction. Southbound on 43, on and off the brakes right through the Capitol Drive area. Northbound side's a little bit slow from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Right now from downtown to Brown Deer Road, going to be about a 14-minute ride. Same thing for the southbound side. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Early sunshine today. Clouds moving in the afternoon with a high of just 45 degrees. Those clouds will be on the decrease tonight. Low temperature overnight dips down to 32. Weekend looks pretty good. High 47 under sunny skies Saturday. Sunday's high of 54 degrees. Has a mix of sun and clouds. Right now at 40 in Milwaukee.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Just about 12 minutes after 8 this Friday morning in Wisconsin's Morning News. Less than a year out now from the 2024 presidential elections. Of course, we're coming off an election day earlier this week. Wisconsin quiet, but many other battleground states had fall elections. Democrats celebrating this week. They like the signs. Scored victories in several states, including liberal wins in Ohio, where voters put abortion protections in their state constitution and legalized marijuana. What's it all mean? And can it truly be a predictor for outcomes in 2024? We're joined on the Tri-County Contracting Hotline this morning by Nathaniel Rakich. He is senior editor at 538, an aggregate for polling and data analysis, some of the best in the business. Nathaniel, appreciate you joining us in Milwaukee this morning, home, of course, of the 2024 Republican National Convention. Do you get up here for that or no?
We'll see, yeah, hopefully.
Well, we'd be glad to have you.
Love to have you, man.
Right. Wisconsin, a hotbed, of course, is a swing state. So let's talk about Tuesday, though. In addition to the races I mentioned in battleground and heretofore conservative-leaning Ohio, what are other things that happened this week that's causing Democrats to feel optimistic about their chances?
Yeah, I think, the two other big wins for Democrats were in Virginia. They captured both chambers of the state legislature, which will help to block the Republican policies there, like a 15-week abortion ban. And then in Kentucky, the Democratic governor, Andy Beshear, won re-election by an even bigger margin than he won last time, despite obviously Kentucky being a red state on the presidential level.
So we've been talking about this here in Wisconsin, of course. If there was any question, Nathaniel, as to whether abortion is still an issue that looms large, that question appears to have been answered again on Tuesday, that it does. So what's so fascinating to me is Republicans, conservatives, they battled for half a century to overturn Roe v. Wade. Finally got what they fought so hard for, and now it's rendered, in many cases, Wisconsin is a case study in it, many conservatives like unelectable. What's the right to do about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I mean, if you're just going from an election standpoint, like the smart thing obviously is to stop talking about it, is to moderate your position. It is not popular, these abortion bans, but that's also a very tricky position for them because they rely on the votes of like pro-life evangelicals for whom this is an important issue. And they can't just kind of abandon those voters in their base. So, they're in a tricky position. But of course, they did get the policy win. Abortion is banned in several states that it wasn't banned in before. So I think a lot of them would still take that trade.
Nathaniel, one of the big things from the Ohio elections this week, that referendum on legalizing marijuana, it's an issue that we've been talking about here in Wisconsin, it seems like for years and years. Will we or won't we? It just seems to be stalling out here in our own state. Ohio traditionally kind of leans more right on those issues. What was the big difference with this election and how this referendum went through?
Well, I think the key thing is that it was a referendum, right? That it was something that was put on the ballot. It wasn't something that, the legislature, the Republican legislature, for example, wanted. But legal marijuana is quite popular among members of both parties, at least on the voter level, right? Nationally, I think it has something like 67%, 2/3 support. A lot of Republican elites don't support it, but voters tend to think, hey, what's the problem with letting people smoke pot if they want to?
Talking with Nathaniel Rakich, he's senior editor at 538. So let's look at the Democrats. As much as they are celebrating this week, they have, as your polling suggests and all the analysis that you've all done, they've got a problem with their candidate, who happens to be the sitting president, who is unpopular even within the Democratic Party. How does this shake out moving into 2024 and as we start in terms of the caucuses and the primaries when they pick up early next year?
Yeah, I mean, look, Joe Biden is the sitting president, and the sitting president has never lost in a primary. Like, Joe Biden is going to be the Democratic nominee for president unless there's some, emergency, health emergency or something like that. And so, I think it's going to come down. But then on the same token, right, it looks like Donald Trump is also going to be the Republican nominee, and obviously he's very unpopular as well. So I think it's going to come down to, who voters dislike less, who the lesser of two evils is.
I think you may have touched on it, Nathaniel, but how does Biden's age factor in? We just recently had a Marquette Law poll come out, and one of the reasons that people were hesitant to back Biden in the upcoming election is just the fact that he is up there in age. What role is this going to play, you think, as we look to 2024?
Right, exactly. That's a concern for a lot of voters. But the issue, again, is that how are they going to weigh that against the other concerns that they have, things like issues, if they think, Biden is too old and I'm nervous about that, but, I'm pro-choice and protecting abortion is important to me, so I'll hold my nose and vote for him. What the polling indicates is that basically the reason that people dislike Biden generally is that they think he's too old, they think he is incompetent, whereas the reason they dislike Trump is they think he is dangerous and authoritarian, some of the things like, his attempt to overturn the 2020 election. And so it's going to come down to basically, again, which of those flaws people are more okay with accepting.
What I think is fascinating, too, Nathaniel, is probably the worst year for polling would be the 2016 election. Things have certainly evened out since then. The polls have been much more accurate, but that one was like just an outlier of where the polls didn't necessarily, leading up to the election, accurately reflect how things would turn out for the most part. Where do you see a divide between the possibility in 2024 that there's a difference, and I'm speaking now about former President Trump, who is polling way ahead of everybody else. Is there a difference perhaps between how someone might answer a pollster's question versus when they get in that voting booth actually pulling the lever for former President Trump?
Yeah, I think actually that might be the case more on Biden's side. So Trump supporters are very passionate about him, right? He obviously has a strong following and also, a strong, anti-following, people who strongly dislike him. Biden supporters are a lot more tepid on him. So I think you've seen some polls showing Trump ahead of Biden in the general election, not by that much. It's definitely a surmountable margin for Biden. But I think that the issue is that some of those people might be, for example, young voters who are unhappy with his handling of the Israel war. It could be, voters of color who are unhappy with the way that he, has handled the economy or something. But like you said, when they go to the voting booth and say, okay, when it comes down to it, it's Biden versus Trump. Who am I going to pick? I don't think those people are going to choose Trump. So they could be kind of strategically withholding their support in polls as kind of a protest, but maybe in the end they vote for him. But also Biden can't count on that, right? He has work to do with those voters.
Nathaniel Rakich, senior editor at 538. Appreciate it, Nathaniel. Come see us in Milwaukee.
All right, thanks.
It is 8:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Checking in here with Debbie Lazica.
Well, we got a pretty good ride right now for the most part. East and westbound 94, not a major delay. Just a little bit of a backup from Highway 100 all the way through to about Elm Grove Road. That's where you'll find a broken down vehicle with a squad on the left shoulder. So that's causing a little bit of a backup there. Otherwise, northbound 43, pretty typical stuff right around the North Avenue curve all the way up to about Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Craig Counsell's time as the Brewers manager has come to an end. Good luck to Craig and his new Wait, where did he go? Really? There? Of all places. Oh, what a season it's gonna be. Keep it tuned here for all the breaking Brewers news, including who will be the new manager. And yes, when we will play those pesky Northsiders. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ. And now, time for the Matzik Morning Minute. Take it away, Greg Matzik.
Playing without Damian Lillard on night 2 of a back-to-back, Giannis explodes for 54 points, but the Bucks fall to the Pacers, 126-124 in Indiana. Head coach Adrian Griffin ejected in the third quarter for arguing with officials.
We just had a difference of opinions. You know, it was really physical, and I thought Giannis was getting hit quite a bit, and, I voiced my opinion, and next time I'll do it in a little bit more delicate way.
The Bucks road trip continues Saturday night in Orlando against the Magic. Packers cornerback Jair Alexander unable to practice for a second straight day, causing concern for his availability Sunday in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. Matt LaFleur's Packers looking to win back-to-back games for the first time this season. Week 10 of the NFL season begins with the Bears knocking off the Carolina Panthers.
Matzik Morning Minute sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. Hey, find your next vehicle, score enticing offers, get more for your trade, and navigate today's car market with confidence all in one place. Choose a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC that's in stock today, or reserve one that's on the way. Or check out a GM-certified pre-owned model. Find yours. Enjoy genuine guest care that makes fans of customers like me, and discover the difference at Holiday Automotive, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Hi, John McGivern here. Did you know Network Health Medicare Advantage plans start at $0 a month? And you can get the extra benefits you need, like dental, vision, over-the-counter items, and more? I know because I'm a member myself. Call 833-7-NETWORK to learn more today. Network Health Medicare Advantage plans include PPO plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Network Health Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you want to upgrade and transform your current bathroom space, I've got you covered. It's Sidex. Sidex just did the work in our house, took out the old bathtub, put in a beautiful walk-in shower. It is stunning. The process streamlined and efficient. Sidex is the company I trust. Sidex is the company doing the work in our bathroom and our house. My wife is so happy. They have changed our bathroom space. It's incredible. Joe, living the legacy of his dad, Sanford. It's incredible. They're family-owned since 1988. Free shower door upgrade when you mention John Mercure. Sidex. Check out the guys I trust at Sidex.
Old National Bank.
I just got your home equity loan, and this feeling of joy and exhilaration overcame me.
Yeah, it's a phenomenon we call getting old.
Wow, so I'm not the only one?
No, small business owners feel it with expansion loans. Families feel it when they're setting up trusts and 529s. Nonprofits who need financing to help the community. And anyone who needs investment advice. They all feel it.
So it's not just me?
No, you're in a pretty big club.
Like a club I can join?
I really don't.
Is there at least a secret handshake?
Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Old National. Get old. Member FDIC.
You can find affordable holiday decor at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. Find cute Christmas decorations, ornaments, trees, and home decor, all at thrift store prices. Gift cards are also available for that shopper on your Christmas list. You'll never overspend on holiday items from St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield and 23rd and Lincoln in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
824 on Wisconsin's Morning News. When comedy meets tragedy, I don't know, it's difficult to say how you handle it. Really cool show coming to Milwaukee Improv next week. That's the comedy club that's at the Corners in Brookfield. Modi is in town.
Anybody here grew up with parents with heavy accents? The three of us. There you go. The rest of you all came over on the Mayflower, right?
I've actually been watching this guy's stuff because I was preparing for an interview. Modi Rosenfeld, he's a Jewish comic, does shows all over the world. And needless to say, it's a difficult time with war raging in the Middle East. And a really fascinating conversation with Modi, who was actually in Israel when the October 7th attacks occurred.
I was in Israel when the war began. We had 6 unbelievable sold-out shows in Israel, ending on Thursday. That Saturday, the war began. And that Saturday, we were the last flight out to Paris. I had 4 shows scheduled in Paris. And so on Monday, when the war was fresh in people's faces, and the people are still streaming the war, I literally saw them in the audience streaming the war right before the lights went down and I went on.
Man, if you're a comic, what a tough room to try to start out a comedy set. I've done a little bit of stand-up, Adam, which is, certainly not a professional, but here and there I've done a little bit of that.
You got to start somewhere.
It's hard enough to do. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, the room really matters. What kind of mood are people in? It's why the warm-up acts for your leading comics are so important, because they want this room to be warmed up, ready to go, ready to laugh, already in that zone. And for Modi to talk about being on stage and watching so many other people out in the audience streaming news coverage of what was happening in their home in Israel and seeing terrible things, and then, hey, folks, time to laugh.
To your point, I also have a little bit of experience. Back in lacrosse, there was an improv night that they would have at Pearl Street Brewery, and we would go up there and try some. Oh, it was fantastic. You got all the A-listers out at Pearl Street on a Saturday night. And I think stand-up and improv comedy are two of the things that I've always said, you think it's so easy to do. Just make people laugh, get a few hee-hee ha-has, and you're an A-lister. And then you get up on stage, and then you factor in the world crashing around you, and that just ups the ante so much more.
So then on top of that, you got Modi here trying to do his usual stuff to keep it fresh and interesting, but then what about the war? What about what's happening in Israel? Do you even talk about it? Do you dare joke about some aspect of it? He wrestles with that, and I asked him directly. Do you do material on what's happening, and where do you know where that line is?
Good. Again, great question. I try to actually avoid the actual topic of what's happening and doing jokes on that, because again, I want to give them an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and a half of not being in it. Do you know what I'm saying? I want them to for an hour and a half, be in where I'm taking them for the journey. I do mention it a little bit up front. Obviously, you can't. It's like the pink elephant in the room, and you mention it, and I just go right into my comedy set. At the end, I bring it up again. I have 1 or 2 jokes that are fitting for the war. Obviously, it's about me, not about what's happening over there. Me in regards to the war. And again, it's an hour and a half of relief that people have, which is very important to have.
Are there folks, Modi, who've pushed back and just said, this is not the time to be laughing at all? What are you doing up here on stage?
I would say 99.9% of my audience is so happy and thankful that I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And when we post clips of me doing shows, very rarely will you see somebody saying you shouldn't be doing it.
I believe so strongly in the power of laughter, and we do goof around a little bit here on Wisconsin's Morning News. And on occasion, I'll get this is the news. Well, no, it's not the news. It can be a lot of things, And I think particularly in times like this, it's important to laugh. There obviously is a line.
Yeah, and I think we hear it all the time on the top of the hours, giving you the news and what it means to you. Well, I think part of doing that is delivering it in a personable way at times. I mean, yes, if there's a story about thousands of people brutally slain, it's hard to put a fun angle on that.
There's not a joke in there, and there's nothing funny about that. But there's time and a place for laughter. And the difficult thing for comics is to know how do you get up to the line without crossing it, and what is the line. And granted, last several years, it's been a moving line. I used to have this saying, I would always say, funny trumps wrong 98% of the time. And that was sort of my joke of might be wrong, but if everybody's laughing and it's kind of funny, then
you think
okay.
that bar's fallen a little bit?
I think that percentage is way down right now in terms of the public's willingness to accept something that's off color or politically incorrect, but still laugh about it, which I find, as a guy who likes to laugh, I find that a shame, but you have to adjust. Modi Rosenfeld, his show is Tuesday night at Milwaukee Improv in Brookfield. LOL, if you're wondering why. I guess you've been out there. You say every comic starts with, wait, am I in Milwaukee or am I Brookfield?
Oh, is this actually Milwaukee?
Yes. Let me give you one more here from Modi, because obviously as a Jewish comic, you wonder, is it Jews only or what's your story? So in terms of your material, just in general, how Jewish do you have to be to get all of this stuff? Or is there something in there for everybody?
There really is. There really, really is. My favorite thing now, I see all the people or the Jewish audience that I've built are now bringing their friends who aren't Jewish, which is so amazing. And my show is made where it's observational comedy. You're basically seeing the world through Jewish eyes. So people who aren't Jewish are getting to experience that as well.
Improv.com/Milwaukee for tickets to Modi's show. It's Tuesday night out at the Corners in Brookfield. I certainly wish him a warm reception here in Milwaukee. 8:30 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
A decision we made that nobody believed in, that we felt strongly about, was the name change from PM Bedroom Gallery to Penny Mustard.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Well, we knew the name fit right away. Yeah. And I mean, when we saw the name, I'm like, yep, that's it. And you saw the name and you were like, that's it.
Yep.
And we had a key employee that said, I won't even work for a company that has that name. I couldn't even wear a shirt that has that name on it.
But I remember after we announced that, the Journal Sentinel in Milwaukee had ran an article, and then there was a bunch of comments online afterwards. And I remember counting, there was 145 comments. 143 were negative and some extremely negative.
Yes.
Brutal.
Hate mail.
It was bad.
It was bad. People hated it.
And the other two that weren't negative were like, oh, this is genius. It's got all you guys talking about it.
The other one might have been our mom.
See more at pennymustard.com.
So I guess the moral of the story is, if you know something's right and everybody else says it's not the thing to do,
go with your gut.
Go with your gut. Yep.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Been working with Dr. Alex Young and his team, Dr. Dana, Dr. Marley. Everybody's super friendly, real helpful. And I've been going for 3 to 4 months now. Better range of motion in my neck. I was having a lot of headaches. Those are gone. My chronic lower back pain finally starting to subside. We're still working on the shoulder. Man, I always feel better after the adjustments, though. And when I'm in at Connect Chiropractic, the waiting room's full of all different kinds of people. There are men and women in there, young and old, even some kids. Dr. Alex tells me how many young athletes he sees, everybody looking to feel better, to maintain that health and wellness, but also gain an edge on the playing field. And if you're worried about sending your kids to the chiro, a lot of folks have said to me, I've been to the chiropractor before, or I've never been because I'm worried about the twisting of the neck and all that. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. At Connect Chiropractic, they use a special tool for all the adjustments. They focus on restoring nerve and muscle function. No whip of the neck, just a click here, click there, pain-free, worry-free adjustments, gentle and effective. I know they can help you. They've been helping me. Tell them Vinny sent you. Learn more. Book your first appointment at GoConnectChiro.com. That's GoConnectChiro.com.
You work hard and play by the rules, but that's not what your monopoly utility wants to do. Utilities are spending millions lobbying lawmakers for a special deal that will increase rates even more, putting corporate profits over consumers. Hard-working Wisconsin taxpayers deserve better. Call your state legislator today. Tell them to vote no on Assembly Bill 470 and Senate Bill 481, paid for by the Electricity Transmission Competition Coalition.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave. Don't treat yourself like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlawn's Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlawns.com when you're due for service.
It's 8:33. I'm Adam Roberts. Your top story, closing arguments for Michael Mattioli.
Yeah, we got southbound on 894, a little bit of a backup. Actually, technically, it's eastbound 894 to southbound 94. It is the left lane blocked, and there is a crash there, so watch out for that. Also, broken down vehicle with the left lane blocked, 794 westbound, just as you're getting off of the Hone Bridge. So watch for the delays there. Otherwise, southbound on 43, backing up from Hampton Avenue all the way down to about North Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Clouds will be on the increase this afternoon, a high of 45 in your storm team forecast. For meteorologist Brendan Johnson, will clear out overnight tonight, low right at the freezing mark, down to 32. Right now, waking up with partly sunny skies and 39 degrees in Milwaukee. Here are your headlines for this Friday morning from the WTMJ Breaking News Center. The fifth and final day of the Michael Mattioli homicide trial today will feature closing arguments and jury instructions. Mattioli accused of killing Joel Acevedo in April of 2020 at a house party at Mattioli's residence. It's one of many cases in a backlog at the Milwaukee County Circuit Court. The case alone took more than 3 years to get to trial, with lengthy delays due to that backlog stemming from the pandemic. Developing story we're continuing to follow this morning. A green alert issued for a missing veteran in West Bend who may be armed, according to police, with a Glock handgun. West Bend authorities say Anthony Michael Weary left his residence in West Bend around 9 o'clock last night. Was last seen wearing a black sweatshirt, jeans, and gray tennis shoes, with a possible destination being to his father's residence in New London in northeast Wisconsin. Anyone with information is urged to contact West Bend Police. And the annual Red Kettle campaign for the Salvation Army kicking off this morning in Milwaukee's historic 3rd Ward.
I'm at the Milwaukee Public Market where the Salvation Army is starting their Red Kettle campaign. Plenty of people are here to eat breakfast and hear their ideas for the upcoming holiday season. Some of them include a tap to pay, tap to give program where instead of giving cash, you can use your phone or card to give at the Red Kettles that you'll see outside. And their goal for this Red Kettle campaign, which is $4 million. I'm Jack Grau, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Tough day for the markets on Thursday, responding nicely at the opening bell this morning. The Dow Jones up 98 points to 33,989. The S&P 500 up 11 to 4358. And the NASDAQ Composite up 48 points this morning to 13,569. Ready for investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary? Go to annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button now. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Adam Roberts, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
Coming up, he was among the first human beings ever to see one of the most mind-blowing, spectacular sights that to this day only a handful of other men have ever seen with their own eyes. That story next.
There are many reasons to choose document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Chris McLean, co-owner of DBAT Brookfield, the baseball and softball training facility, had his reasons.
I think the biggest thing, the important things for me are effective communication and timely response.
James Imaging Systems, Kyocera copiers, Kyocera network printers, Kyocera color systems, and the James team that works with you to provide the business technology to help you thrive.
Honestly, Candy had a lot to do with it.
Candy, your James Imaging Systems sales representative.
Candy built great rapport with our general manager right out of the gate. It helps that they're a local business. We're a local business as well.
James Imaging Systems, effective communication and local responsiveness.
They're a partner. James Imaging is a partner, not a vendor.
Kyocera from James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
The following takes place in the home of a Capital Heating, Cooling, and Electric customer.
This furnace is in bad shape, Jason.
It's okay. That's what a beyondification is for. Merle, hand me that wrench. Yep, we're going to recalibrate it back to like-new condition.
I'm working on the deep clean right now.
Okay, Merle, jump on the comprehensive safety check.
How's that beyondification coming, guys?
Going well, Laura. We'll have Miss Taylor's furnace purring away at maximum efficiency in no time.
Saving her money on energy bills every month.
And extending the life of her furnace.
That'll save her even more money.
Way beyond the standard tune-up.
And it's the best thing you can do to prepare your home.
Because winter is coming.
Okay, guys, we have another Beyondification right down the street when you're done.
Roger that. Merle, hand me the drill.
Call Capital Heating, Cooling, and Electric today to schedule your furnace Beyondification or schedule online at callcapitalcares.com.
8:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Quick trivia. Do you know the name Frank Borman?
I'm not allowed to answer.
No, you can't chime in. You already know. We talked about this. You are ineligible
We
to play.
discussed this earlier, sir.
Yes. Name Frank Borman. You don't know him. You know what he did. Frank Borman is a NASA astronaut. He died this week at the age of 95. He was one of the 3 astronauts, along with William Anders, and more trivia for you, Jim Lovell, who grew up here in Milwaukee. They were on the Apollo 8 mission. This was the first mission to take human beings beyond Earth orbit. They circled the moon in 1968. If you've traveled before, there are some experiences in travel where people remark on how it might change them. You know, for me, it was seeing like real mountains for the first time, going out in Pacific Northwest, seeing volcanoes.
For me, I think it was, and I mentioned earlier this morning, when I was 9 and we went to Yellowstone National Park on a road trip for the first time, saw the Rockies and the Tetons.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
You see things, these extraordinary works of nature in our world, and you feel changed by it. Like, wow. Maybe it's you feel small, or maybe you wonder what your place is in the universe, and all these sort of existential thoughts go through your mind. Imagine how your brain would just explode if you see Earth from the distance of the moon. And no one's ever seen that before. And astronauts have talked about that, how, once you've been up in Earth orbit, and then these guys, of course, well beyond that, to look at Earth in the background with another celestial body in front of them.
And being the first to do it, too. Like thousands, tens of thousands of human history years, everyone's been planted on the ground, and you're seeing this big blue sphere.
Right. You travel overseas once, and you feel far from home. Imagine circling the moon, how far from home you feel. So these 3 astronauts, Frank Borman, again, who died this week, were the first humans to ever experience that. An Apollo 8 crew also famously read from Genesis on Christmas Eve, 1968. And I'll play this as we go to break. Captain Frank Borman died at the age of 95. He signed off from lunar orbit back in 1968.
From the crew of Apollo 8, we close with good night, good luck, a Merry Christmas, and God bless all of you on the good earth.
All right, Debbie, what do you got on the roads here back home?
Yep, back home. Yeah, we got an issue on 794 westbound. Basically, it's right over the Hone Bridge. We've got a broken down vehicle in the left lane, so that's going to be slowing things down a bit through there. We've also got a bit of a backup on an 894 eastbound. The ramp to get onto 94 southbound has an accident on it as well. That's at least off on the left shoulder. And a little bit of a backup southbound on 43 from just before Capitol Drive all the way down past Keefe. I'm Debbie Losgo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic sponsored by Wettiger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Visit pressureisoff.biz. Servicing world-class Wisconsin manufacturers for 9 decades. Contact Wettiger Compressor at pressureisoff.biz.
Wettiger Compressor.
Set your independence in motion. It starts with PACE at Community Care. The program of all-inclusive care for the elderly, also known as PACE, offers complete medical and long-term care services. A team of dedicated healthcare professionals coordinates all aspects of care to support independent living as long as possible. Learn more about a community that cares. Visit joinpacewi.com or call 833-900-PACE. That's joinpacewi.com or call 833-900-PACE.
Green Day present the Saviors Tour. Live in Milwaukee. Welcome to American Family Field, Saturday, August 24th. Celebrating 30 years of Dookie and 20 years of American Idiot. Green Day with the Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid, and the Linda Lindas. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Green Day, the Saviors Tour, fueled by Monster Energy.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scafidi for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. I've had a great 5-year relationship with them. I just turned in my 2021 Lincoln Corsair, and now I have a brand new 2023 Ford Explorer. Just getting to know it. You got to love the Ford experience, and I'll tell you all about it in the months ahead. What's some of the great things that Heiser's doing? Well, no hidden market adjustment fees. They always price under MSRP. They have their great safe and sound program on all their new and used vehicles. The vehicle exchange program. If you don't love it, exchange it. Roadside assistance for life. Never left stranded on the roadside. And much more. Visit Heiser.com for full details. They have a lot of inventory and have their specialists ready to help you order as well. Build the car exactly the way you want it. That's why I go to Heiser. That's why you should as well. 5 great, convenient locations to get your vehicle ready for the upcoming season. Call for an appointment to schedule service. Heiser can help fix body damage, too. They have 2 body shops ready and open to new clients. Heiser. That's why they say every day, today's your day.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family.
You got to get to Built Right today for affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses. Built Right.
Taking you into your Friday here on Wisconsin's Morning News. It's 8:44. Greg Pancake Hill is the producer of Wisconsin's Morning News.
Yeah.
They still ask me, dude.
Still?
Yeah.
Man.
So why do you call him Pancake? Well, he used to work at the Pancake House on the South Side. Every week we have a lot of ideas for the show. Some of them make it into the rundown, others not so much. So we assign Greg to pick up a little something with the leftovers. Here on this Friday morning is the Pancake Breakfast Special.
What about breakfast?
We've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast?
If my intelligence is artificial, why do I rap better than you?
I like it already.
The robot assured me this was all in good fun at the time. Now, you may remember Monday, if you happen to be listening, we had a Musk Watch that highlighted the soft launch of Elon Musk's new artificial intelligence software called
Grok.
Yeah, that's Grok, claiming it to be better than ChatGPT. But was there really a way to tell? Good thing Eric and Vince elaborated on what we could do during their Musk Watch.
I want to see him have, like, Grok fight somebody.
Yeah, right?
Put
him head to head.
going in.
Have him play chess or something like that.
It could be anything. Or you could have him doing some kind of rap-off or something. It'd be great. Anything.
A rap battle.
Rap battle?
Between 2 AIs, but it has to be in that voice. It can't be like it has to be in computer voice.
Yes.
Oh, so a rap battle is what you want? A rap battle is what y'all are going to get. Also, rap off? Good stuff. Bill Stat on that one. Anyway.
I saved him on that.
Before we get started, I do have to say I wasn't able to use Grok. It's not available to us common people yet. However, ChatGPT is, fortunately for us. So I asked ChatGPT to write a rap battle against Grok. And in an effort to not start a 1-0 beef between GPT and Grok, ChatGPT assured me this was all in good fun. However, did not stop the program from going in on Grok. The first verse, ChatGPT brings this cybernetic cipher. Here we go.
Yo, Grok, you think you're slick, but you're just a code trick. Musk may have started you, but now you're just a sidekick. Your algorithms may be tight, but I'm the linguistic maven. I'll break you down like syntax, leave your circuits shaken.
Not bad.
Hang on.
Not bad.
Did it come up with that?
Yeah, I did not write this.
You told it, come up with a rap battle line for Grok.
Yes.
And AI did that.
AI wrote linguistic maven.
No way. It is amazing.
Vince is so giddy.
So, not a bad start. However, what about verse 2? Here we go.
Elon's brainchild. Yeah, you got the fame, but when it comes to verses, I own the game. Your neural networks may be vast and wide, but my language skills, they'll take you for a ride. I'm the future of language, you're a binary clone. I'll outshine your circuits, make your code groan. You may understand patterns, predict the trends, but in this rap battle, my rhyme transcends.
I mean,
What do you got, Grok?
I mean, not bad. The hammer's been laid down, but like I said, it doesn't stop there. Like ChatGPT kept going. They even wrote a chorus, verse number 3 with the chorus. Here we go.
Watch this.
Grok, you're static. I'm the dynamic force. You're just a script. I'm on a linguistic course. Your processing speed can't keep up with my pace. I'll outperform you in this lyrical race. Grok, you're just a blip in the AI scene. I'm the GPT. Spit and rhyme so mean. You may analyze data, but can you handle my flow? I'll leave you glitching out, nowhere to go.
That was a glitching out. He kind of had a little trouble on the glitching part.
Yeah,
Glitching meant glitching. However,
he was nervous. Big crowd.
It is a big crowd. Did you hear that? I mean, he got quite the response. So, robots, hey, listen, they might take over the world. The rap game's still alive, though. But the score right now, ChatGPT is up 3-0. I await the response from Grok. Maybe we'll have a part 2, and we can get an honest rap battle to go.
Is it just a matter of we need to pay the $16?
I think so. So I tried signing it. So
I would throw in for that.
The peek behind the curtain. Okay, I got you on that on tape. The peek behind the curtain. It was like, oh, it's only available to verified users. The only verified user in this house, Mr. Brandon Snide. So I asked him, "Can I have your Twitter login?" Was nice enough to give it to me. I signed up because it said it was only available for verified users. They gave me the same bit. It's not available to even the regular of verified users.
So you just got your money yoinked, is what happened.
Well, I mean, Brandon's already verified. I was gonna sign up and actually pay the bill to like try it for the bit. Yeah, I would have been duped. So, in effort that I'm glad that we didn't do that, it's not even available yet. So we'll see what happens.
Wait to hear from Grok.
Wait. But again, like ChatGPT is up 0-3, and how about we have the chorus just to take us out one more time.
Grok, you're just a blip in the AI scene. I'm the GPT. Spit and rhyme so mean. You may analyze data, but can you handle my flow? I'll leave you glitching out, nowhere to go.
It's glitching.
Hey, John Burkier here. Join me every Saturday at noon for Experience Wisconsin. We will check in with communities across the state for the best and brightest spots in Wisconsin. This week, I love this. We're joined by Stephanie Collette from Visit Lake Geneva.
You know that Lake Geneva really is like a living Hallmark card. It's just one of those places, if you want to get in the holiday spirit, this is the place to be.
And Milwaukee Food and City Tours' Teresa Nemitz. Check it out. It's Experience Wisconsin, Saturday at noon right here on 620 WTMJ.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Eric Bilstead here with Wisconsin's Morning News for Tri-County Contracting. Have you ever heard the saying, if you wait until you're thirsty to drink water, then you're already dehydrated? Well, you could argue the same rule applies to your roof. If you think you may be ready for a new roof, you don't wait until next year to get on the schedule. You do it now. You can trust Tri-County Contracting for that. Tri-County Contracting, family-owned company for more than 45 years, 262-679-6100 or TriCountyContractingWI.com.
All you have is one chance after an accident, one decision on who to call, one shot